24-20.
Next Saturday.
University at Armstrong Stadium for the Battle of the Bay, Hampton and Norfolk State. And Jay, this is for bragging rights in the Tidewater area for the next year. Who's the best team?
Oh, it definitely is. It helps out with recruiting in a major way. If you can recruit the Tidewater area, you can have a successful football program.
Well, you know, this is a series that goes back to 1963. They know each other very well. It's the 40th meeting, and we'll be back in a few moments with the game right here on NBC.
Catch the games. Catch the game. Play hard, play rough, be strong, be tough, take charge, dig deep, hold on, yo, bring heat. Yo, from state to state, from field to court, hoping everybody enjoys the game and feel the sport. Just remember we're fighting to win the game like Denzel, and remember the Titans. Look, take it out on your enemy, cause it gets intense. The crowd cheers and you feel the energy, and the beat is getting me to a point of hype in which both teams better be. Play hard, you gotta play rough, you gotta be strong, you gotta be tough, you gotta take charge, dig deep, you gotta hold on, you gotta bring heat, you gotta play hard, you gotta play rough, you gotta be strong, you gotta be tough, you gotta take charge, dig deep, you gotta hold on, you gotta bring heat. Yo, catch the games live on NBC. It's live black college sports, obsessed to bring entertainment aboard. I just hope that you know you dealing with MBC Sports. Back to back. Make sure that you watch games from the CIAA, MEAC and SWAC, SIAC's got you. But it ain't over till you hear this, or we will rock you. Play hard, you gotta play rough, you gotta be strong, you gotta be tough, you gotta take charge, you gotta dig deep, you gotta hold on, you gotta bring heat, you gotta play hard, you gotta play rough, you gotta be strong, you gotta be tough, you gotta take charge, you gotta dig deep, you gotta hold on, you gotta bring heat. From state to state, from field to court, hoping everybody enjoys the game and feels the sport. Just remember we fought to win the game like HBCU sport. Look, take it out on your enemy, cause it gets intense. The crowd cheers and you feel the energy, and the beat is getting me to a point of hype in which both teams better be. Play hard, you gotta play rough, you gotta be strong, you gotta be tough, you gotta take charge, you gotta dig deep, you gotta hold on, you gotta bring heat, you gotta play hard, you gotta play rough, you gotta be strong, you gotta be tough, you gotta take charge, you gotta dig deep, you gotta hold on, you gotta bring heat. Play hard, play rough, be strong, be tough, take charge, dig deep, hold on, bring heat. Gotta catch the games live on NBC.
We are the devastating divas of the Gamma Iota chapter of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated. The Battle of the Bay is coming up next on NBC. Play hard! Ooh!
We're in Hampton, Virginia, and we're on the campus of Hampton University. We're in Armstrong Stadium, and it's the Battle of the Bay. These two schools not far apart, less than 20 miles. Hampton University in Armstrong Stadium taking on the Spartans of Norfolk State. Hello again, everyone. I'm Charlie Neal, and welcome to Hampton. And what is the biggest Saturday so far of the season in the Mid-Eastern Athletic Conference? One reason, there are three teams tied for the top spot. Hampton University is one of them. They not only want revenge today against Norfolk State for a loss a year ago, but they also are looking to stay in first place in the Mid-Eastern Athletic Conference. Let me bring in my partner, Jay Walker. And Jay, we look at this Norfolk State team. They've lost 3 in a row. They played the part of spoiler a year ago. Who has to step to the plate for Norfolk State for that to happen again this year?
In a game like this, they have to score a lot of touchdowns. Their leading touchdown maker on the year has been William Smith, the senior running back that's playing like there's no tomorrow. He's leading the team with 5 touchdowns so far this year. He needs to score 2 to 3 of them a day in order for Hampton to have a chance, for Norfolk State to have a chance today.
Well, you know, Hampton University traditionally has been strong at the quarterback position. They're strong again this year, but they've made a change. They've settled on Kerry Dixon after Tim Frazier started the season.
And they're still strong at the quarterback position. It's just a different kind of strong. This is a kid who started as a freshman at Baylor University, played in some big games. He's going into his first MEAC season, which is a whole different ball game within itself.
40th time that these two teams have met. Hampton and Norfolk throw the records out the window when the Battle of the Bay becomes a reality, and kickoff is just moments away. Stay with us. Stadium also working with us today is Nicole and Donna. We'll get to talk to them. Let's throw it down on the field to Nicole Watson and Donna Hopkins. Nicole? Donna?
All right, Charlie, thank you so much. That's right. I have a little help on the sidelines here, Donna Hopkins. And Donna, when they talk about this matchup, they say the word intent is not strong enough. The matchup dates back all the way to 1963. But after a quarter century of play, they said, hey, it's a bigger game. It deserves a better name. So they dubbed it the Battle of the Bay. And with that, now the two matchups, the teams have come out. They try to get intense. Only 15 miles separate these two teams, but a lot of pride and loyalty in between.
Well, Nicole, I was talking to the coaches, and they said you can throw records out the window. They said that everybody knows each other. You got neighbor against neighbor, friend against friend, and then you got players that know each other from the opposing teams. I was talking to the Spartans coaches and players, and they said that this is a game that they've had marked on their calendars from day one. They call it Red Letter Day. They also said that they were looking at this game all year long. They came in the same way they did last year as the underdogs, but they said, Nicole, you know the outcome.
All right. In this matchup, since they dubbed it the Battle of the Bay, Hampton leads at 8-5, so we'll see what happens today. Charlie and Jay, back to you.
Thank you very much, Nicole. Donna, looking forward to their reports from the sideline. Hampton has won the toss, has elected to receive. They're in their dark blue jerseys as you look at Joe Taylor in his 11th season as the head coach of the Pirates of Hampton University. Norfolk State will be kicking off there to our right as you look at it with their white jerseys and gold pants, green helmets, and this one is underway, the Battle of the Bay. And it bounces down to Jerome Mathis, and Mathis across the 35 and up to about the 39-yard line goes Jerome Mathis out of Petersburg, Virginia, the sophomore, on the return. So Hampton University getting the ball in fairly good field position at their own 39-yard line. First down and 10. The quarterback will be Kerry Dixon. There he is, transfer from Baylor. Has a little problem with a little rotator cuff, but is a better runner supposedly of the two between him and Tim Frazier. Sophomore from Houston, has 4.4 40 speed. So we'll see what happens here. First down and 10. One lone setback behind the quarterback. Mathis is the man in motion, and they keep it on the ground and they run it straight into the middle. And on the carry was Travis Hales. As you look at the starting lineups for Hampton University, brought to you by Office Depot. Hales, Jonathan White, Zerial Smith, the grad student who's majoring in speech pathology, Patrick Cheatham and Aaron Wells in the backfield. On second down, the pass is complete to Mathis. First down into Norfolk State territory and out of bounds at about the 37-yard line. As we complete the starting lineups, here's the defense for Norfolk State. Jamal Najee, Jacques Philistine, Brent Sanders, and Jonathan Jones. Davey Smith. Harges is the man in the middle. Chaz McDowell is the other linebacker, the secondary. Pretty good one with Owens, Marcus Gray, Copeland, and Johnson. First down and 10. Here's Hales again trying to go to the left side. Hales trying to turn the corner on the far side of the field and run out of bounds in front of the Norfolk State bench right at about the 31-yard line. Hales on the carry. Hales had missed the first few games of the season, has only played in 2 straight games because of a severe arm injury toward a right bicep and a non-football related injury. Mathis trying to turn the corner, and he gets to the outside, spins, and a flag goes down on the far side of the field.
And Hampton right there showing a little bit of misdirection. They came out and opened the game with the dive option up the middle. This time they give it to the speed burner there in Jerome Mathis. You got a guy with that kind of speed. Get him the ball on the outside, see if he can make something happen.
4.19 40 speed. That's pretty quick, isn't it?
I was teasing the coaches earlier. I think their stopwatches are broken.
No, they said the pro scouts actually timed these guys at that speed. He ran a legitimate 4.19 for the pro scouts. Mathis is just a sophomore also from Petersburg, Virginia. He's one of the young guns. We get a holding penalty, our first of the game. Our referee is Darryl Prelo.
Replay second down.
So they're going to replay the second down. It's second and about 4. for Hampton. After the hold penalty, keeps the ball back at the 35. It should be, I think, would be further back, wouldn't you think, if it was a holding penalty? Unless they marked it from the spot. From the spot of the foul.
And wide receiver out there running out there might have been blocking downfield.
So rather than 2nd and 5, it'll be more like 2nd down and 8 for the Pirates of Hampton University. From the shotgun they work this time. Dixon with the low snap, gets the ball under pressure, decides he's going to step out. He throws, almost intercepted. He was trying to get it in the middle of the field to Zerial Smith, and we had a couple of defensive backs back there trying to make the stop. Karen Copeland was one of them, and Alton Perkins, and they collided, and they were both a little slow getting up.
He does a good job of making the first defender miss. Norfolk State's going to have to take advantage of those opportunities. Anytime you get a chance to tackle this quarterback in the backfield, you better do it, or else he's going to make you pay later on.
Makes it 3rd down and 8. Hampton University. This drive started in their own territory. Here's Hales running into opposition from the defensive line, and that is led by Kevin Talley, number 55, the linebacker out of Warwick High in Newport News, Virginia. As they say it down here, Newport News.
Newport News, like it's one word, isn't it?
Yeah. It'll bring up a 4th down situation. Let's see what Joe Taylor wants to do. He's going to bring in some of the heavies. I don't see the kicking unit coming in. That's Tellis Bolden. So on 4th down and 8, they may have to call a timeout because the using a lot of clock. Play clock is down to 4 seconds. Now they're going to get a delay of game penalty. They did. They're going to get a delay of game penalty. They were a little uncertain as to whether they were going to go for it on 4th down. Well, they were going to go for it, but they had to have the right people in the lineup.
Delay of game on the offense, 5-yard penalty, replay 4th down.
Now what does that do? Does that change your strategy? The ball is moved back to the 40-yard line. Are they still going to go for it? I guess they are. And it'll be 4th and 12 for Hampton University. He's 5 of 10 in 4th down situations this year. Zerial Smith, incomplete. Ball underthrown, so the ball goes over on downs as they drive from their own 39 to the Norfolk State 40, and the drive stalls. There's a timeout on the field. There's no score in the Battle of the Bay. Here in Hampton. Stay with us. Here, we're in the first quarter, 13:05, the time remaining. And Norfolk State getting the ball for the first time at their own 40-yard line, 1st down and 10. They're led by Dontrell Leonard, the quarterback out of Warwick High in Newport News, Virginia, a redshirt sophomore who threw a pair of touchdowns in the 28-20 win by Norfolk State a year ago. Shift in the backfield from the I formation. And the handoff is to Smith. He's into the secondary, gains 5 yards up to the 45-yard line. William Smith out of Lanham, Maryland from Riverdale High. Had 138 yards and 3 touchdowns earlier this season against Savannah State. On 2nd down and 5. Smith the lone setback. Leonard back to pass under pressure. And he's going to keep it and run. Looking for a block, gets one and runs out of bounds in Hampton territory. Across midfield down to the 42-yard line. So a big gain on the play by Dontrell Leonard. 13 yards on the run. Starting lineups, William Smith, McKinney, Gilmore, Phillips, and Kendall are the backs and the receivers. The offensive line, Mike Washington, Escayuri, Lopez, Birch, and Gibson up front. Give to Smith again, trying to go right. Turns the corner. And gains about 4, make it 4 yards on the play. It'll be 2nd down and 6 from the 37. And defense for Hampton University. Ike Hilton with the 12 sacks this year, 6 last week. Tremaine Hughes, Vernon Woodson, the leading tackler in the Mid-Eastern Athletic Conference, is in the middle, along with Jason Scott. And the secondary, Darrell Diab, along with Travis Oliver, Mike West, and Brian Sawyer. Second down. 2nd and 6. Back to pass. Under pressure. Leonard still under pressure. Throws it away. Incomplete. 3rd down.
Good job by the big fella getting rid of the football. Norfolk State came out and established a little bit of a running game. What Hampton had to do to offset that was blitz everybody up the gaps here. He's going to do a good job of making the first guy miss, get outside the pocket, look for somebody to throw to. Once he realizes he's not going to get the ball away, throw the ball, get rid of it, don't take the sack, face 3rd and short rather than 3rd and long.
This is a team, this Norfolk State, that just scored 26 points in their last 3 games, average of 8.3 points per game while giving up 120. 3rd down and 6. It's 27% in 3rd down conversions. Bad snap and the quarterback throw, falls on it, loses big yards all the way back across midfield into Hampton territory, or their own territory, I should say. And that'll bring up a 4th down punting situation, a 4th and long. And that'll bring on Gideon Tacola, who's a junior punter from Alexandria, Virginia, averaging 34 yards per punt. Deep man is Zuriel Smith, ranked number 1 in the conference in punt returns, averaging just under 18 yards per return, and also 7th in the nation in that department. And he'll have a chance to return it from inside the 10 at the 8. Trying to turn the corner, looking for some blockers. He's in trouble, and he's finally brought down before he could get going. And it was Ulysses Cox who came up to make the stop. No score. We're in the 1st quarter. We're in Hampton. 10:44 is the time remaining. Charlie Neal and Jay Walker will be back in just a moment.
Everybody to the Battle of the Bays in Hampton, Virginia. We're here with Hampton University against Norfolk State. Now, Hampton University has 3 receivers that they have dubbed themselves Flight 238. They are number 2, Terrence Patrick, number 3, Jerome Mathis, and number 8, Zuriel Smith. They do a little celebration in the end zone, kind of like planes. They say that they're responsible for 93% of the receiving yards for Hampton. So, you know, I figured with that, I've been on a few flights. Let's see. Good afternoon. Welcome aboard, everybody. I'm your flight attendant, Nicole Watson. You're aboard Flight 238, nonstop jet service for Hampton University. With us today, our captain, Zuriel Smith. He'll be on board. It'll be a bumpy ride, so we ask you to fasten your seatbelts. Charlie and Jay, welcome aboard.
I thought their flight was headed to the end zone. Flight 238, 64 receptions between the 3 of them and 7 touchdowns.
Yeah, what it is you got to always keep these guys on the football field. Although you only want to start 2 wide receivers, they all play. They use 3 wides all day long, and they're just playmakers. So get them the football any way you can.
A yard gain on the last run by Hales. It'll be 2nd down and 9. Out to Patrick, and he couldn't hold on. The pass to Terrence Patrick out of Newport News, Virginia, a junior, on a little swing pass. And again, we talk about the rotator cuff problem that Kerry Dixon has. It's apparent even watching him in practice yesterday, as opposed to throwing crisp passes like Tim Frazier.
Yeah, and, you know, you'll kind of lose a little bit of your accuracy because the in-between passes are the tough ones to complete.
On 3rd down from the shotgun, little swing pass or screen, semi-screen to Hales, and Hales has picked up great yardage all the way out to the 46-yard line. Mark it at the 47. Run out in front of the Norfolk State bench. So Hales with a big run that time. There, look at him. 29 yards on the run.
And that's a quarterback's dream right there. You throw a 3-yard pass and you get 29 yards passing. You love those type of plays.
And on this near side, here's Patrick. Terrence Patrick trying to turn the corner. And Patrick gets yardage all the way up to about the 46-yard line. On the reception. Gain of 8.
I talked to the defensive coordinator for Norfolk State. I said, well, Hampton runs such a helter-skelter offense. What do you do? How do you game plan against that? He said, you know what, Jay? They run 26 different formations and only about 10 plays. So you just have to tell your kids to be in the same place all the time.
Zuriel Smith looking for the ball. Incomplete.
Great job of playing defense there by number 24 from Norfolk State, using the sideline to be his alibi to help him maintain coverage on the wide receiver running downfield.
Perkins.
Great job. He's a freshman. They're really, really encouraged about his playing style.
Brings up another third down situation, 3rd and 3 for the Pirates of Hampton University. Full house backfield from the I. Up back is Jonathan White, the fullback. They give it to Hales. Hales, who has had some whale of a games the last couple of weeks. 209 yards in 2 games, 107 and 102 respectively. And he stopped way short of a first down this time. Well, I say way short, about 2 yards short. Let's see if they're going to go for it. They're going to go for it again. So they're 0 for 1 in 4th downs in this game. For the season, they came in at 50%, 5 of 10. Let's see if they maintain that 50% margin. On 4th and 2. Play action. The quarterback wants to keep it, and he's not going to get it. Gary Dixon stopped in his tracks. Behold the green and gold. They come up big on the defensive side of the ball. And they were led by Chaz McDowell, number 99.
And they're trying to do a rollout, trying to allow their quarterback to get outside the pocket to make something happen. In this case here, we talked about it from the beginning. There's no love lost between these two coaches here. They're going for it. Joe Taylor's trying to get his team motivated so they don't get off to a slow start, and the Norfolk State defense is stepping up so far.
From their own 45, Norfolk State gets the ball for the 2nd time this afternoon. Again, working from the I formation. Smith is the second back. He gets the ball, but he doesn't get far as he's dropped in his tracks. And the man who brought him down was number 55, and that is Jason Scott. Let's talk about the keys to winning in this game, Jay. Norfolk State.
In order for Norfolk State to have some success on defense, they've got to rattle the quarterback from Hampton University. Don't let them get used to playing these MEAC football games. They've got to play with a lot of emotion. This is the Battle of the Bay. The crowd's into it. This is a neutral territory today, and they've got to neutralize the size of Hampton University with their speed. A lot of shifting fronts. Don't let Hampton run right at you. Make them run around you or catch up to you.
On 2nd down, passing situation. Dontrell Leonard is going to be sacked. So for Hampton University, they come up with their 18th sack of the year. And again, Woodson, Jason Scott from the linebacker spot creating havoc.
And I think what this is a screen that's gone awry. And what the Isaac Hilton did such a good job of getting upfield, getting on the running back so fast that he held on to the running back and didn't let him go. That sack was giving credit to Isaac Hilton, even though he didn't get to the quarterback. He doesn't need any more extra sacks anyway. He's got plenty of them.
On 3rd down and 22. Under pressure, again, a sack. And that's Dwayne Little out of Carver High in Winston-Salem, North Carolina, who came up with the sack. Here he is. Brings up 4th down, so a couple of sacks on that play.
Yeah, he just did a great job of beating his man. They had one-on-one block in there. Smith did a poor job of protecting his quarterback. He just wanted a little bit more, Little did, than Smith did. You got to take blocking seriously.
From their own 23, Hampton will punt it for the 2nd time this afternoon. That is Terry Cornett with the punt. Zuriel Smith from the 27. Zuriel Smith on his feet. Zuriel Smith still running. Zuriel Smith down to the Norfolk State 35-yard line. Great return by Zuriel Smith after the punt by Cornett. A 50-yard punt. Zuriel Smith returns it 38 yards.
And he's the pilot of this Flight 238. He's the senior with all the leadership. He likes to get the ball on special teams as well as on the offense. They're just doing some good hard running. He knows what this Battle of the Bay is all about. And you see he comes out of the tackle saying, hey, you guys can't hit me any harder than that.
So to the Norfolk State 35-yard line is Hampton. The pass into the flat, and it goes incomplete, intending it for Terrence Patrick. But there was pressure on the quarterback, Kerry Dixon, and let's look at the keys to winning for the Pirates of Hampton University.
They've got to stay focused. Don't worry about Norfolk State's record coming into this football game. Unleash number 93, Isaac Hilton. They shouldn't be able to contain him this week. He's a leading sack getter in the MEAC, and they've got to hold on to the football. Turnovers is basically the only way that Norfolk State can stay in this football game today.
2nd down and 10 after the incomplete pass. And here's Hales, and he has nowhere to go that time as he runs into a stone wall led by Ulysses Cox. on the defensive side of the ball for the Spartans of Norfolk State, bringing up a 3rd down. Here's a great story in Travis Hales out of Richmond, Virginia. Looking for his 3rd straight 100-yard rushing day, but he's been held in check so far on 6 carries, 12 yards. Came into today's game averaging 5 yards a carry. On 3rd and 10. Dixon looking for Serial Smith. No, it's Terrence Patrick is closest to it. And that goes incomplete. Going to bring up a 4th and 10. Now let's see. They've gone for it.
And I have to think they'll continue to go for it. And one of the reasons being, as long as they're punting the ball or they're going for it on 4th down on the Norfolk State side of the field, they're going to continue to do that. Until we play this game on the Hampton side of the field, we won't see the punter all day. You can tell clearly that Coach Taylor is trying to get something going, trying to rally his troops so they get motivated and realize what's at hand here today.
Well, this is the 3rd straight time they've gone for it on 4th down. They've been unsuccessful on the first 2. The pass is caught incomplete, actually intended for Serial Smith on the near sideline. He's being covered by Alton Perkins, and so the 3rd straight time they've turned it over on downs, and we have a timeout on the field. 5:53 remaining first quarter. Still no score in this battle of the Bay. Well, earlier, Jay, we talked about Kerry Dixon having a problem with his rotator cuff. He has not thrown the ball well this afternoon, and the trainers are attending to him. He's 3 for 10 for 58 yards, and a couple of them have been short in the dirt, not on target. So we may see Tim Frazier. There he is.
And anytime you see the quarterback take his shoulder pads off, you're going to see the backup quarterback. No maybes about it.
Norfolk State with the ball, 3rd possession. 1st and 10 at their own 35. Smith dancing in the outside, and they blow it dead. They blow the play dead, so we may have some offensive movement against Norfolk State. Norfolk State is coming into the game averaging 70 yards and penalties per ball game.
Happen fraction on the offense, 5-yard penalty, replay 1st down.
Darryl Prelo is our referee today.
And what you're seeing here is, on offense, Norfolk State is fairly young. Defense, they have some experience. That's why they've been able to stop Hampton. Offensively, you've had the little miscues. The ball snapped over your head, guy jumping off sides. They've got to settle down, these younger kids, and play this football game.
On 1st and 15, Gilmore, the man in motion. Trying to go to the right side this time. Terrell Johnson gets the call for the first time, and Terrell Johnson picks up about 3 yards.
Good piece of running there. They're going with a changeup. We know that William Smith likes to run the ball extremely hard. They go Terrell Johnson there, a little bit of a changeup back, more speed to the outside. He explodes to the outside. He's not trying to run in between the tackles. He's looking for a sideline to cut up and then turn on the Jets on the outside. Good piece of tackling, but also a great hole created by the Norfolk State line.
Brian Sawyer laid the leather on him on the sideline there. Smith is back in the lineup. Pressure. Flag is down. Pass is caught by Darryl Johnson, and Darryl Johnson is down inside the 10 to the 8. Let's see if the penalty flag brings it back.
I think what we had there was Isaac Hilton got in the backfield so fast that he forced the Norfolk State right tackle to hold on to him with that pressure on the quarterback.
Well, I thought he got around Hilton. Hilton got around that player, and then the quarterback was able to step up. Let's see if we see it. Look at number 93 in blue.
As you see him turn on the speed in the Jets, he's got that left arm. You kind of missed him there. He's so fast he went out of the.
You see, the flag was thrown way over here, so I'm trying to figure out where that holding penalty came in, unless it was on number 60. That's the only thing I can think about. It could be against Mike Washington, the left guard. So that play went for naught. The biggest play of the game for the Spartans of Norfolk State, and they're still working on Kerry Dixon on the sideline.
And when you got that rotator cuff there, that's just a muscle there that you can't quite massage it. You got to be gentle with it. It really affects your range of motion. That's just a tough injury there. I know from having been a pitcher back in the day, if your rotator cuff is giving you trouble, it's painful.
Norfolk State trying to keep the ball on the ground and just keep them honest, I guess. That is on a long situation, on a 3rd down, and call it about 17.
What they did, they get a little freeze draw. You've got
third 20.
You've got Isaac Hilton just bull rushing up the field on the outside. He's a speed rusher trying to overcommit to the outside. You try and use his speed against him. Let him run all the way upfield and trick him, and run the football where he just vacated.
Third down, 20. Darrell Johnson had gotten wide open on a long pass earlier. The quarterback was able to step up, and on the draw play, nothing happening for Norfolk State. And it goes for naught, and it'll bring up a punting situation for the third straight time. The ball's back at the 25-yard line, and they'll punt it away.
And one of the things you have to be careful about in this game, you don't want to keep punting the football to number 8 back there. He's making plays. Zariel Smith is a playmaker. You're punting to him. He's getting 20 yards of return.
For it. He'll come up and field it at the 40. Has a little room on the far sideline. There on the sideline he goes and out of bounds in front of the Norfolk State bench. Goes Zariel Smith. No score. We're under 3 minutes to play here in the first quarter. This is the Battle of the Bay. Hampton and Norfolk State. Walker, no score here. This Norfolk State-Hampton Battle of the Bay. Norfolk State on defense. Here's Hampton University in the quarterback change with Tim Frazier in because Kerry Dixon's having problems with his shoulder. Tim started the season. You see the stats on him. He has not thrown an interception this year. He's thrown 6 touchdown passes. He's the veteran, a senior. Majoring in biology, 3.5 grade point average, wants to be a surgeon. Very interesting young man. Had a long talk with him yesterday. We'll get into that in a moment. And here's his first pass, and it goes complete on the far side, and it's Terrence Patrick on the reception. So he's going to the locker room. They may have to x-ray this young man, Kerry Dixon, who has been the starter the last couple of games, but has had some problems with that rotator cuff, as we mentioned earlier, and it apparently has flared up on him in this contest, and he's not in there right now. It's Tim Frazier. Sharp in practice yesterday. Hales on the pitch, tries to go left. You know, it's interesting. I had a chance to talk to Tim and ask him what it meant to him to be pulled after being a leader for the last couple of years. He's a captain of the team. And he said, you know, personally, of course, I can say a lot of things. But he said, but I'm all about the team. I want another ring. It doesn't matter who's in there. I'm not going to say anything to divide the team, cause players to take sides, and things of this nature. You know, and that's very characteristic of the type of individual that he is. I mean, he's looking out for the best interest of the team as opposed to his own personal endeavor.
I think that's something that you have to do. I mean, he realized, we saw his numbers there. He did not play bad at all. He did 6 touchdowns, no interception. He's showing you what type of person that he is. As a man, you would say, well, hold on, I'm not playing that bad. You don't pull me out the game because my numbers don't warrant it.
Because they were winning.
But he understood that the other guy came in and was a spark. He's probably thinking he's a temporary spark. I could still be the long-term solution.
And he's got to be ready at any time. Another 4th down situation, and it falls incomplete. So for the 4th straight time, Norfolk State has held on 4th downs. Let's go down to Nicole with an injury update on Kerry Dixon. Nicole?
All right, Charlie. Dr. Darrell Green, team doctor for Hampton University, tells me that Kerry Dixon has a shoulder strain. He said this is just a chronic problem. This is not a new injury for him. It's been bothering him all season long. In fact, it was bothering him earlier today in warm-ups. He said they'll go back, they'll rest it a little bit, stretch it a little bit more, and see how he feels a little bit later on in the game. Charlie J., back to you.
All right, thank you very much, Nicole. From their own 35-yard line, 36 they'll mark it, is where Norfolk State goes to work. 1st down and 10 with 1:23 left here in the first quarter and no score in this Battle of the Bay. Here's Smith trying to get outside, and he picks up yards up to the 40. Picks up about 5 yards, 4 yards on the play.
One of the things you have to like about this, you see the guys there, they're doing some trash talking. They played high school football against each other. They played in all these Senior Bowl classics. They hear about each other. They share the newspaper. That's what you got to love about these real close rivalries. There's just a lot of stuff that the intangibles, the stuff you don't even read in the newspapers, what goes on.
They gave him 5 on the play. And bring up 2nd down and 5. Smith with 8 yards on 5 attempts He had a couple losses the last time they had the ball. Here's a little screen out in the flat. And it goes to Terrell Johnson, and Terrell Johnson picks up maybe a yard. That's about it. So it'll bring up a 3rd and 4. Johnson out of Warwick High. He cracked his ribs against the Aggies of North Carolina A&T, and he's been ailing a little bit. If you look at Mike West, a freshman out of Worthing High down in Houston, Texas, they really have high hopes for that young man. They say he can play.
Yeah, and anytime you got a freshman out there starting as a cornerback, you know, you really must think he's a player because, you know, as a corner, you're out there on the island. That's a man's man out there, one-on-one coverage. You make one mistake, it can cost your team the ball.
That's the end of the first quarter here. There's still no score between Hampton and Norfolk in this Battle of the Bay. We'll be back with the second quarter in just a moment. Hopkins also with us. Let's look at some first quarter statistics. Norfolk State with a -15 total yards. And when you look at that stat and you see Hampton with 72, it's amazing there's no score.
It's unbelievable, especially considering that -15 number. They've got to do something to give their defense a chance. They're playing well enough to win this football game.
3rd down pass goes way out of bounds by Dontrell Leonard. Dontrell Leonard was set down by Vernon Woodson, the leading tackler in this Mid-Eastern Athletic Conference. As you look at Zerio Smith back to receive the punt again of Terry Cornett. His 4th punt of the day.
And he's had some lanes. I wouldn't be surprised if he broke another successful punt return. They've been giving it to him. It's just a matter of time.
Not a good kick this time. This one sails out of bounds right at about the 36-yard line. So that's where Hampton will get the ball for the 5th time at their own 36. No score. They've tried unsuccessfully 4 times on 4th down conversions, and they are yet to convert one today.
And now that they got a new quarterback in there, first series is kind of in there, a little bit rusty, shaking off the rust. Now let's see if he can get some momentum going, move his football team into the end zone.
And we get a movement in the offensive line somewhere. They blow this play dead, so it'll be a 5-yard penalty against the Pirates of Hampton.
False start on the offense, 5-yard penalty, replay, 1st down.
Joe Taylor, previous stints at Howard University for a year, and Virginia Union has a record of 150, 61, and 4. He won his 150th game, career game, last week. Play action, stepping up and sacked is the quarterback. And coming up with the sack is Jamal Najee.
Well, one thing the Norfolk State likes to do, they can get at the quarterback a little bit too. Jamal Najee's been their big player, their best defensive player so far this year. Just going to keep his motor turned and just keep working to get to the quarterback. He's got 8 tackles for a loss. That's a lot for a defensive lineman.
And they have an all-senior defensive line. That is another plus for the Spartans of Norfolk State. And you got to remember, when you look at the offensive line, Jay, of Hampton University, they weigh almost a ton. There's about 3/4 of a ton up there. You know, 326 pounds is what they average, but there are a lot of youthful players up there. Aaron Wells, young guy, weighs 390. Here's Hales on the little screen pass, and Hales still on his feet, has the 1st down, or does he? No, he's short. He's still short of a 1st down. Remember, they had a penalty.
That's right.
They had a 5-yard penalty, so he gets the ball up to the 40-yard line.
As you take a look at the middle screen there, Hampton knows if we can get the guys going straight ahead, then we got a chance of getting them. As you saw Hales there bump into his line, that's the problem. When you get those big fellas up there, they're not too agile or mobile, but they're big, they're mass eaters, kind of what they are. And if you can get them to just run down the middle of the field, you allow your running back to run around them and find a gap.
So another penalty flag comes out. Let's see who this is against. If Hampton moved prematurely or if Norfolk State was offsides.
Dead ball foul, false start on the offense, 5-yard penalty, replay, third down.
Those are the types of things, Jay, that really drives coaches crazy, because what happens consequently is that you have penalties that are mental penalties when you jump off sides, illegal procedure, things of this nature.
Good old-fashioned concentration, that's all it is. You focus on something else, you forget your task at hand.
3rd and 10. Frazier, and he has a complete, and diving for the first down with second effort is Jerome Mathis out of Petersburg, Virginia. He's the young guy in that whole group. Watch the second effort by Mathis.
Yeah, and the quarterback, the timing's off a little bit. He had to pump it and bring it back down. But after he made the catch, you can tell he knew where the first down marker was, and he just willed himself past the marker there. That's being a football player.
You see the strong arm Frazier displayed in that one as Hales is wrapped up immediately as he touches the ball for no gain. But I watched not only Tim Frazier talk about how important it was for team chemistry and character, things of this nature. He stayed after practice yesterday just throwing passes, just sitting there, just getting his arm ready. And he knows he might have to, as today, pick it up and go in at any time, so he's got to be ready. On second down, ball is batted in the air, incomplete. I believe it was Jonathan Jones, a senior out of Alexandria, Virginia, who got his hands on it, number 66 there.
One thing to keep a note of.
They listed him as 6'1". Now he's bigger than 6'1".
He looks up around 6'1" to me. You know, we won't argue about that extra inch there. You see him, he does a good job getting airborne. When you jump up in the air like that, you're a lot taller as well.
Throwing it down, a little fade pattern. And the flag is going to be thrown. But now you got to look at, could he have caught that in bounds?
I don't know. You know, where I come from, they say the sidelines never miss a tackle, or a ball on the sideline can't be caught.
If it's out of bounds, it was uncatchable pass. But let's watch it. Even though he's bumped, the ball, look where the ball is.
They've got to bring that back.
They can't call that penalty.
The ball looked like he threw it and hit the 10-yard marker down there.
It is ruled uncatchable. I was going to say, it looked like the ball was out of bounds when where he could have caught the ball. If it had been inbounds, now you got a legitimate penalty. So to bring up a 4th down, and I think Joe Taylor has now decided he's going to bring on his punting unit, and Tellis Bolin comes on for the first time today.
And that's because they're not playing this. He doesn't have to make that decision on the Norfolk State side of the football. Hey, the ball's on my side of the field. I'm going to go ahead and punt it to you. I'm not going to give you great field position like you've been giving us.
Bolin, second in the conference in punting, averaging 39 yards per punt. Let's see what there's a hold-up or discussion. Delvon Moore is the deep man to receive the punt for Norfolk State. So now Norfolk State's going to call a timeout. We'll take one. We're in Hampton, Virginia for this battle in the Bay. There's no score. We're in the second quarter with 12:41 to go. And he gets a high one off. Delvon Moore back to field it for Norfolk State. And Moore is not going to get anywhere, maybe 2 yards on the return from the 10 out to about the 12. On the 13 is where they'll spot the ball, and Norfolk State gets the ball for the 5th time this afternoon. Let's see if we see another switch at quarterback. Willie Mitchell is in the lineup. Junior college transfer out of Houston, Texas, number 13 for the Spartans of Norfolk State.
Going to an audible first play.
On 1st and 10, he pitches to Smith, trying to go to the short side of the field, but nothing going on there. There's a linebacking core led by Gerald Perry. Comes up to make the stop.
Going with a little bit of a change, bringing in another quarterback. I can understand that, and you like the discipline of him to come in here and say, I'm not going to check to a pass right away just because I'm in the football game. I'm going to audible to a running play, get myself into the game slow.
2nd and 10. Mitchell pitches left. Smith trying to get outside, and nothing happening. And again, on the stop, Vernon Woodson is right there. You talk about tackles for losses, Jay. He came into the game with 5 tackles for losses, and he's got a couple here this afternoon.
He's just one of those good old-fashioned ball hawks. Having football, he'll find it sooner or later. He's leading the conference in tackles. He's a great football player.
This drive started at their own 13-yard line.
Don't tell me.
Ball is back at the 7. They've lost 6 already. 3rd down, 16.
You know, when we talk about some of the difficulties that Norfolk State has had, it's all started similar because the offense not helping out the defense. If they get any type of positive yards, this could be a very successful football team.
Hampton has called for a timeout. Each one has spent one here. 11:09 remaining second quarter, and we still have no score. This is Mo Forte, head coach of Norfolk State. 4th year there. Classic Clashes coming your way on November 30th right here on NBC. Here's Johnson. Gets into the secondary. Gets close to the first down, but is going to be a little short, maybe about a yard. Terrell Johnson.
He's had some success running the football today. Great call there. They got to get plays like that on 1st and 2nd down to move the chains. Just right now, this game right here is a rivalry. Everybody's excited. You know your opponent. Figure out a way to make Hampton drive the length of the field. Don't just make it easy for them to have to go 40 yards and then punt the ball right back to you.
Corinth's 5th punt of the afternoon. And he gets this one off. Zuriel Smith will not get a chance to return it. They keep giving the ball to Hampton closer and closer. This one will be spotted at the 48-yard line. That's where Hampton will go to work. 1st down and 10. No score. 10:22 remaining. And let's see who's in at quarterback now. It's still Tim Frazier out of Polytech High in Baltimore, Maryland. Came into the game as the #1 passer in the Mid-Eastern Athletic Conference in passing efficiency. Even though they didn't throw a lot of balls, but what he did throw, he did a good job of and didn't throw any interceptions.
Yeah, 6 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. That'll have a high pass efficiency rating for you.
Zuriel Smith, the intended receiver, and he overthrows it.
Now this is interesting. As bad as we said the Norfolk State offense has done so far today, the Hampton offense has gotten the ball in great field position all game long, and they haven't capitalized, and they put 0 points on the board too. They need to settle down, run behind those big fellas. You got 326 pounds a man on the offensive line, and they've only run the ball up the gut maybe 3 or 4 times today.
If you go from left to right, they go 330 in Henderson. Steiner is 300. The center Clement is 310, and that's unusual for a center. Cheatham is 300, and Wells is 390. And here's Hales into the secondary. Has some room, and he's still going down inside the 10, close to the 10, and he's knocked down out of bounds at about the 12, 13-yard line. Goes Hales, looking for his 3rd straight 100-yard game.
And it's a good job. It's just knowing X's and O's. As you see Hales make a great break into the outside. Great block downfield by the wide receiver. You see him jumping up for joy. He takes a lot of pride in that, Joshua Davis. I mean, it's just football, and it's the laws of physics. If I've got 390 pounds over there on that right side, if I run behind you and you fall down, I'm going to get some positive yardage.
39 yards on that run, and here's a draw play, delayed draw, and they keep it on the ground, and they give it to Carlton Morant, the fullback, and Morant maybe a yard. That's it. There he is, Morant out of Hampton, Virginia, Kecoughtan High. It'll bring up 2nd down.
A lot of trickery going on, a lot of misdirection. Just run the ball straight forward. I think they can wear down the Norfolk State Spartan defense.
Here's the pitch to Hales to the left side. Trying to get around the corner. And he does before he's finally run out of bounds. Shy of a 1st down at about the 9, make this 4-yard line. At the 4-yard line, he is run out of bounds by Davey Smith, the linebacker. Let's watch the pulling guards.
Yeah, take a look at the big fellas. You got Eric Steiner, their best run blocker, just getting a body on a body, just trying to make some type of contact. Good job by the Norfolk State defense, running uphill to save a touchdown there with that tackle. Now let's see if they can limit it to just 3 points and not 7.
And the pitch to Hales to the right side. He has room over there. Let's see if he can get in. Well, the room almost closed on him, but Hales takes it in for 6. And Hampton draws first blood from 4 yards out.
Maybe not what we expected. We expect to see a little bit of an air show, but every now and then they throw the change up with the running game. When you got the big fellas up front pushing, you can do it. And the constant no huddle, the pressure, with Norfolk State staying on the field so long, put them at a disadvantage.
Hales came into the game 209 yards rushing, 5 touchdowns. He has a touchdown today, make it 6 and 3. And Tellis Bowling goes on for the point after. It's up and good. And we have a 7-0 ball game with 9:22 remaining here in the first quarter. So Hampton University finally gets the drive going. It's a 52-yard drive. They use 5 plays to get into the end zone. 7-0. Hales with 63 yards in the game, 39 on that last drive, even though he capped it with a 4-yard run. And here's that 39-yard drive that set it up, Jay.
Yeah. And this is the guy right here that's got responsibility. He shoots too far upfield. Hales is able to come underneath him, sprint to the outside. You've got one-on-one blocking here with the wide receiver on the cornerback, opening up the hole to solidify a solid run. As you see the linebacker there, overcommit to running upfield. Hales just goes where he came from, and good downfield blocking by the wide receiver there. I love that right there. Anytime those wide receivers just stepping on the defensive back toes, springing the running back for an extra 20 yards. Great running play by Hampton Pirates.
Hampton University leading 7-0. Now Norfolk State gets the ball. Tellis Bowling to kick it off. Goes on the far side of the field. Charles Cox trying to get over there, and it goes out of bounds. So penalty flag. And I'm sure Norfolk State will probably have them kick it again.
Well, I think in this case, you may want to just take the great field position you get from the penalty with them having kicked the ball out of bounds.
Let's see what they're going to do.
The receiving team will take the ball at the 35-yard line.
They're going to take the ball. We thought they were going to do it last week, and they just did the opposite.
Charlie, I know football. If I tell you they're going to do something, just assume they're going to do something.
That's why you're up here not coaching.
Haven't lost a game yet, haven't Charlie?
Not in the booth. Although I understand your team may be losing today. Well, we will talk about that some other time.
Easy, fella, easy.
First down and 10 at the 35 for the Spartans of Norfolk State, trailing 7-0 in this one. We're in the second quarter with 9:17 to go. Here's Smith. Smith has a first down across midfield and into Hampton territory all the way down to the 42-yard line. So, William Smith out of Riverdale High, Atlanta, Maryland.
I love his vision here. Take a look at the cutback here. The play is designed to clearly run the ball to the right, cut back on the left, go against the grain. Great vision there by the running back Smith of William Smith, getting to the outside, running, knowing where the cutback lane is. That's known. You're blocking protection up front. Good piece of running there, William Smith. 23
yards on the gain, the biggest running gain for Norfolk State today. They had a pass play that was a big gainer that was called back because of a penalty, a holding penalty. And now they're on the move. The Spartans first down and 10 in the Hampton territory. They keep it on the ground again. Running into the gut of the line is Terrell Johnson, number 2. You know, one of the things that last year Hampton University's defense was ranked next to last against the run in the Mid-Eastern Athletic Conferences. And look at it once again here, Jay. But, you know, they've allowed over 200 yards a game last year. This year, giving up only about 126 yards a game, but they've stiffened even in the last 4 games, giving up only 75. And, you know, prior to that long run by William Smith, they were on minus yards rushing. That is Norfolk State. Here's your quarterback. Looking, has it complete to the big guy. That's Darrell Johnson, and Darrell Johnson fumbles the ball. He fumbles the ball. Who has it? It's in the end zone. Touchdown, Norfolk State. Oh, April.
I tell you, Daryl Johnson went from being the hero to the GOAT, back to the hero there. He did a good job of getting free. And then the hustle part, to know that he fumbled the football, to get up and not get bogged down and go get that ball in the end zone. That's football. That's why that thing shakes so funny. You never know which way it's going to bounce. And in Daryl Johnson's case, he caught the lucky bounce because it bounced back to him where he could get it.
42 yards on the pass play. And that's what they're going to call it, a pass play. There he is, Daryl Johnson, and on for the point after. Tekola, the kick is up, and it is good, and we have a tie ball game, 7-7, with 7:54 remaining here. A two-play drive. We'll be back. Mr. Johnson just scored the touchdown to put Norfolk State into a tie. Junior out of Marietta, California, his second touchdown of the year, the longest one of the year. His longest reception prior to that one was 31 yards. This one went for 42.
You know, he's got a good frame on him, 6'3", 200-pound wide receiver. Did a good job of stepping through one of the defender's tackles and then having the wherewithal and the know-withal to go get the football.
Well, the defensive player, you know, where he failed in his job was once the player dropped the ball, not keeping him on the ground.
Yeah.
He allowed him to get up. There was a lot of blue jerseys headed to the end zone.
And that's actually what I thought was going to happen. When he had the hustle to go get the football, I was kind of like, how did he get up from the pile? I'm sure that's what the coach was going to talk about in their meeting on Monday.
Let's look at it once again.
You've got man-to-man coverage on the outside. What he's going to do is just run a basic hook route for you here. As he hooks up and he gets the football, the Hampton defender slips. He's running hard, cutting upfield, and once they strip him of the football, watch him just get up and keep hustling and beat them to the football. That's just a hustle effort there by Daryl Johnson.
Little swing pass out in the flat. Here's Mathis. Mathis down the sideline and run out of bounds in front of the Hampton University bench. Right shy of midfield at the 48, but enough for the first down. They move the chains. And Hampton University on the move right now. Again, Tim Frazier is the man who is in the quarterback spot for the Pirates. He did not start the game. Kerry Dixon started, went out with a problem with his shoulder. He's on the sideline. He's come back, put his pads back on, but here's Frazier again. Almost picked. Incomplete. I'll tell you, that was intended for Zuriel Smith, but coming up was Anthony Owens out of Sunrise, Florida, who already has a pair of interceptions this year, and he almost picked that one off. There he is.
He did a good job of breaking on the football, and he wrestled it out of his hands there to get a hand on it. As you see the quarterback here clearly locked and set to throw the ball to the left side.
Good thing he had some zip on it, huh?
Good thing he did. Otherwise, they were going the other way with it.
Look at that. Zip pass downfield to Zuriel Smith. I'll make that Terrence Patrick. Patrick cuts back at the 5 and is down at the 5. First and goal. Terrence Patrick on the reception out of Newport News.
You know what? We knew that these guys had some rocket burners, but speed is starting to kill.
40.
You got 4-2s and 4-3s all over the field. He does a good job. First guy missed a tackle, get to the outside, turn on the jets, accelerate up the sideline, and look at the cutback here. Oh, great cutback there. It's a good job of getting inside, getting the extra yards, trying to get to the end zone.
47 yards on the catch and run by Terrence Patrick. First and goal. Hampton at the 5 of Norfolk State. And into the end zone with no problem whatsoever with his touchdown is Ryan Thompson, his 7th touchdown rushing this year. Ryan Thompson out of Williamsburg, Virginia.
You know, going into the game, he was a starting running back, and then Hales started getting the starting position the last 2 games, but they say Thompson can run too. Right now, they got a little bit of running back by committee going. Good job of just running to the left side of the line, getting in untouched.
Bolden for the point after. It is good. 14-7. Hampton University regains the lead with 7:11 Remaining here in the second quarter, after a scoreless first quarter, we've had 3 scores in the last 2 minutes and 11 seconds.
And what you see is a great job by the fullback here with that ISO block on the outside. Jonathan White does a good job of creating a scene to allow Thompson, the crease, to run into untouched into the end zone. I'll tell you what, running backs love great fullbacks. That's one of the things that you'll see him go up to him in the meeting room and say, hey, I owe you for that touchdown. That was your touchdown there with that great seal block. If it doesn't happen with the fullback, it doesn't happen at all.
That was a 4-play, 68-yard drive by the Hampton Pirates. They used only 29 seconds off the clock. So you're talking about getting into the end zone quickly. Like I said, we've had 3 touchdowns in the last 2 minutes and 11 seconds.
You know, and every now and then you need somebody to kind of wake you up. They came back and they thought that Norfolk was going to lay down after they scored a touchdown. Norfolk answered with a touchdown. Now we got a shootout. Charlie, does Norfolk have enough bullets in the gun, though? That's the question.
Well, we'll see. They're going to reload at halftime if they don't.
And starting on the 10-yard line, they're going to need some long-range bullets in order to get to the end zone as well.
That was Anthony Owens on the kickoff return.
Now, coming out of this one, they've answered. They can't afford to get into a shootout against Hampton. Continue to run the ball. Allow William Smith to get 5-6 yards at a time. And you've got 7 minutes. If you score a touchdown, you want to score a touchdown on a nice 5-minute, 30-second drive rather than trying to just go for the deep play, match them score for score.
This is starting at their own 12-yard line. That says the Spartans of Norfolk State. The pass complete out in the flat, but not much happening to Johnson after the reception of about 3 or 4 yards.
And that's what you need. Just take the easy completion. And one thing we got to allude to, Willie Mitchell coming in, he was their 3rd-team quarterback most of the year. So that's why they've had some trouble in their passing game. They want to slowly get him acclimated to getting in there. Because like MEAC football, I know from experience, MEAC football is a learning experience. You can't learn it in practice. You have to learn it on the field.
Ranked 8th in total offense, the Spartans of Norfolk State in the conference. Gilmore in motion. On the delayed handoff. Not much for Smith that time as he goes straight and make that Terrell Johnson, rather. Johnson and Smith, we've seen them both in the lineup today. And there's a young man who's been all over the field. Vernon Woodson out of Suffolk High. Nansemond River. Suffolk, Virginia, rather. Nansemond River High in Suffolk. Leading tackler in the MEAC coming in. Preseason 2nd-team all-conference player. Moved from the outside because of his ability. Of course, you know the middle linebacker spot is probably the most important position in that defensive scheme of things. And he was an outside player, but because of his aggressiveness, Coach said, I got to put him in the middle.
Yeah, well, you know, I think by having Isaac Hilton on that defensive line helps him out, allows him to run free a lot of times back there. Look out.
And it's caught.
Wow.
By Gilmore in between 2 defenders for Hampton University. Gilmore just went up, and he just wanted it a little more. Out of Woodson High in D.C., his 18th reception of the year.
Yeah, this is a great job. The quarterback kind of floats the ball up there in between 2 Hampton defenders. Gilmore does a good job of just wanting the football. Coming into this game, he was averaging 16 yards a catch. We thought they needed to get him involved more, find different ways to get him the football.
27 yards on that reception by Gilmore. Moves the ball to the 44-yard line. And now we get a flag, and we may get movement on the offensive line. Another penalty.
Dead ball foul. False start on the offense. 5-yard penalty. Replay. First down.
1st and 15 now for Norfolk State.
You know, I had an interesting talk with Coach Taylor before the game, and I was explaining to him, I had to explain the Hampton Pirate team to our producer, Rick. He said, how's Hampton so good? Well, they're so good because they don't do anything bad. They rank in the top 3 in almost every category in the MEAC, and they continue to do things like that. You're just going to have to be a really great team in order to beat a solid Hampton football team.
3rd penalty against Norfolk State today. Nothing doing this time, and coming up with the sack is Ike Hilton. Ike Hilton came into the game needing 7 sacks to become the school's career or season single sack leader. And he would be tying the record by Hugh Hunter of 19 that Hugh set back in 1994. And that was a young man that Joe Taylor brought with him when he came here from Virginia Union, Hugh Hunter. And now he's a character, this Ike Hilton. I had a chance to talk to him from South Carolina. You know, he's a track star too. He loves track. He runs about a 4.340. He's 6'4", 245 pounds, and that's a lot of speed for a guy that big. And I said to him yesterday, I said, "Are you a track star trying to be a football player, or football player being a track man?" He said, "Well, track is my first love, but I enjoy sacking quarterbacks." So. Let's talk to him. I did talk to him a little bit about his speed, and let's listen to where he got all that speed from.
Yeah, it's unheard of, but I'm a country boy, and I'm used to running, you know, with bare feet and running in the dirt and running in the sand. You know, being from Charleston, a lot of beaches, I've gained a lot of speed and running from dogs and chickens and everything, you know.
Why would he run from the chickens?
Maybe
I can see him running from the dogs, but
you be chasing the chickens. You don't run from the chickens, you chase them. That's dinner. Well, Rocky Balboa made that famous catching the chicken. You know, and it's interesting with that answer, because most of the times when you see track guys play football, we say that they are, you know, they always give you this answer, "Oh, I'm a football player, I just happen to run track." But he's honest. Hey, I'm a track guy, and I happen to be very good at playing football. And at this pace, he'll be playing football on Sundays next couple of years.
Second down and 18 for Norfolk State. Little screen to Johnson. Not much for him on that side as Jason Scott ran him down. Stopped at just shy of the 40-yard line. He's still going to need about 14 yards for a first down on third down coming up.
And, you know, and to piggyback on this Ike Hill, when you've got a guy that's as big as he is, 6'5", 250 pounds, everything you do from an offensive standpoint, you have to take account into where is he going to be at on this play if we try this. And he's in around every play. If you take a look at him, he's right here to start off the snap, and watch how quick he is off the ball.
Pass incomplete. Gilmore was in the vicinity of the pass, and it goes incomplete. That'll bring up fourth down with 4:16 to go. You know, he also talked about the fact that he probably watches more film than his teammates. He watches his opponent, he studies his opponent and what he does and what type of moves he has, so he knows what he has to do when he goes into a game.
That reminds me of one of my old teammates named John Randall used to do that. John Randall could tell you the opposing center's daughter's first and second name.
Hampton bounce, poor punt that time by Cornett. That was only 21 yards on that punt.
When you get a game like this and it's a battlefield position, their special teams have to step up and make big plays. So far, they've kind of lost the battle of special teams, because think about it, Hampton's got the ball on the 40. They only have to go to 60 yards in order to get a touchdown. And that ball there was deflected. Good job by the Hampton defender coming across there. Brant 3 doing a
touchdown. Hampton. Mathis. 61 yards.
They're fast, but they scored 2 points. I looked down.
One play.
Had a piece of paper, and before I blinked, they were in the end zone.
Hampton has scored their last 3 possessions. They were locked at no score, and now it's 21. We'll make that 20-7. Tellis Bolden trying to make it 21-7 with the point after. And it's good. So they struck quickly. One play, 61 yards, 9 seconds, and they're in the end zone. And that came from Tim Frazier. That's his 7th touchdown of the year.
And as you take a look right there, you can see how much the defender was beat by. Mathis turned on the Jets, and it was just a matter of 17 not having the speed to keep up with them. Mathis can fly. We know that. Good job. He's there one-on-one. As you're out there on the corner, one-on-one, no help over the top. Quarterback Frazier did a good job of putting the ball out there where only Mathis could go up to it and catch it.
Mathis had to go over his left shoulder a little bit to get it, so that was great concentration on his part. And there you see the quarterback, Tim Frazier, out of Baltimore. He's next to throw an interception this year, and he's thrown his 7th touchdown pass. Mathis, for him, his 3rd touchdown reception. That one good for 61, and that's still not his longest of the year. His longest was 68.
Well, if he stays in there and he gets more opportunity, more plays with the speed these guys have, one of these guys will take a 5-yard pass and make it a 90-yard.
Coming back up the field is Owens. Owens trying to get into the secondary, trying to get something going. And Owens brings it close to midfield.
I love that. You know why Owens was running so fast, right? He just got beat for that touchdown on the other end. He's trying to get it all back himself. He said, if the offense won't help me out and protect me, I'll go get it myself, even though I made the mistake. That's why you love it. That's that revenge run back there.
So from their own 48-yard line, Hampton University goes on defense. Norfolk State gets the ball, trailing by 2 touchdowns, 21-7. It was tied at 7 apiece. Smith. And Smith picks up about 6 yards. Down to the 40. He'll make it 5. Smith, call it 2nd and 5.
Smith with a good piece of running here. One thing about this quarterback, he's not really putting in Mitchell. He's not going to check any audibles. He's going to get his team beat. They're not moving the football, but he doesn't have any problems checking to the right running play.
Second down. On the draw play, Johnson. First down, Johnson still on his feet, and Johnson down at the 30-yard line. So good blocking by the offensive line of the Spartans of Norfolk State, and Terrell Johnson picks up some valuable yards. That was a 17-yard run.
And that's one of those scamper runs. This is a delay draw. You see Johnson get the ball in the backfield on the delay, make a couple people miss on the line of scrimmage, get to the secondary, and lower your shoulders and keep your feet churning. Great spin move there to pick up an extra 5 yards by Johnson.
First and 10, 2:51 to go. Norfolk State looking to get into the end zone before the half. But not too quick. You don't want to give the ball back to Hampton. They scored in 9 seconds. Here's Smith. William Smith. He may go. He's at the 10, the 5. Touchdown, Norfolk State.
Great job. He alluded to his vision that he had earlier. He's got tremendous vision to be a running back, running that full speed, having the ability to cut on a dime. Running play designed for the left side. He's going to do a great job. Designed for the right. He'll run left, cut back right, do a little zigzag, and make me dizzy up here in the booth. Good job by William Smith getting to the end zone. We got a ball game here, folks.
That was a 2-play, 52-yard drive. And here on for the point after. Tacola. Kick is up. And this is good. And it's 21-14. So again, it's not much time between these two teams trading touchdowns.
Yeah, you know, one thing about it, we thought they could only leave 9 seconds. Now they left 2 minutes and 34 seconds. Now watch the defense step up here and make a play. Coach Taylor's looking like, what is going on here? As you take a look here, tremendous vision. He's going to get the ball. He's going to run it on the left side. Then after he breaks the initial line of scrimmage, look for a cutback lane. Look at the eyes. Looking for a cutback lane. He knows he doesn't have the speed to take it the distance. Looking for an angle to make it harder to catch. Take a look.
I'll tell you what's going on here. It's the Battle of the Bay. It doesn't matter. That's what's going on.
I love the job of getting to the open field, then smelling the end zone. You got to smell the end zone. Battle of the Bay, these two teams here, they're fighting. They must be fighting for a bushel of crabs or something like that.
It must be.
Winner gets the all-you-can-eat crab.
I don't know who bet what, but there he is, William Smith, out of Riverdale High, from our neck of the woods, up in Atlanta, Maryland. And he's put on a show so far this afternoon. He's rushed for 60 yards on 10 carries. So that's a 6.3 per carry average. So he's done pretty good.
Giving them something to celebrate here. I'm sure these people from Norfolk had such a long drive to get to this game, Charlie. It took them 15 minutes to get here. They got plenty of energy to spend. They're not worn out. Those tailgaters that travel 300 miles, they get to the game. They're so tired they got to wake up. This one here, they probably all went to IHOP together before the game.
Nola kicks off. This will go out of bounds. Terrence Patrick couldn't get to it. Don't forget to stay with us. Halftime, our battle of the bands. Of course, Norfolk State, they had a band battle last night at the Convocation Center to our right as we look at it from here. Great facility here on the campus. This is one of the gorgeous, it's a very gorgeous campus here. In fact, both of the schools have very pretty campuses, Norfolk and Hampton University. There's Bill Harvey, the president here, and you look around, there's a football offices down under the bleachers underneath, and areas for the coaches and meeting rooms for the players. That's a recent addition. This one is high. Terrence Patrick from the 16. Patrick out to about the 36-yard line on the return. So 2:20 is the time remaining. Hampton getting the ball. The first 4 times Hampton had the ball this afternoon, they turned it over on downs. In other words, they drove down to the Norfolk 40, the 45, the Norfolk 35, and the Norfolk 35, and they went for it on 4th down and failed. Then they finally punted, and then here in the second quarter, they've scored the last 3 times they've had the ball. They have the ball again, and here's on the delay to Hales on a counter play, and Hales picks up maybe a yard to the 37. Let's go down to Donna Hopkins on the sideline. Donna?
Charlie and Jay, the defensive coordinator was telling his players that they've got to do a better job against their offensive guards, and they've got to listen out on the field of what's going on back upstairs.
All right. Well, of course, you got to do some things right, don't you, Jay?
You've got to.
Here's another long bomb down the field. Trying for the same individual. Uncatchable. They said it was over the head. Mathis was out there.
They're trying to do some deep shots, and even though most teams would have a sense of urgency when you got to the 2-minute drill, in this 2-minute situation here, Hampton runs no huddle all the time. So for them, it's not even a 2-minute drill that they're running. They're just running their normal offense, and they score in bunches. As you take a look at the throw here, it seems like if he'd have put this ball on the field and take a look, that ball lands in the middle of the field. That's just a great job by the defensive back, using the sideline, knowing once a receiver goes out of bounds, he can't come back in
and catch it
to his help, to his advantage.
From the shotgun under pressure, and very smartly, Tim Frazier throws it away, and he recognized the good effort put forth
by Jamal. Jamal's been around the football all game.
Jamal Najee. He even pats him on the helmet after that. He said, good job, guy. I mean, you recognize great plays on the defensive side of the ball. So on 4th down, they're going to punt it away. A minute 46 remaining in the first half. It's been a good one. Norfolk State couldn't get on track early on. As far as running the ball, poor punt by Bolden. This goes out of bounds against Norfolk. Great field position. Remember, both teams have 2 timeouts remaining, Jay.
I'll tell you what, Joe Taylor's a genius. He gets smarter and smarter. You wondered why it took him 5 possessions before he punted the football? I think we just saw why.
No, that's not true, because Tellis Bolden is ranked 2nd in the conference in punting.
Tellis Bolden may have been having a tough day in pregame warm-up, but we didn't see that. Tellis Bolden hasn't punted the ball too well today for us today with that shank right there.
That was only 10 yards net on that punt.
That's why he's the coach. He knows. He knew something was in the air.
So Norfolk has the ball in Hampton territory at the 47-yard line. First time today that Norfolk has started in Hampton territory. They are trailing by a touchdown right now, trying to tie it before the half. Quick pass out in the flat, has it complete to Gilmore. And Gilmore close to, if not, having the first down, maybe a yard shy. About a 9-yard gain down to about the 37, 38.
And what you may see is the evolving of a quarterback, Mitchell, getting in there, getting a little bit more comfortable, throwing the football with more confidence, feeling like he can maybe do some things in this game. If the offensive line can protect him, he may be able to pull it out and get a score here before we go into the half.
Willie Mitchell has been the quarterback of record for the Spartans of Norfolk State, who struggled early on. Johnson, the second back in the eye. He's been an effective runner also. Now Mitchell wants to call a timeout, and he's going to talk things over. One timeout remaining now for the Spartans of Norfolk State. And there's Mo Forte. Spent many years at North Carolina A&T as the head coach. He won the first outright championship for North Carolina A&T in the Mid-Eastern Athletic Conference. He spent 6 years there. In '86, he won the conference title with a 9-3 record, was named Coach of the Year. And his 6-year conference record was 8-19, but 1987 was his last year there. Went on to coach the Denver Broncos, and then came back to the Mid-Eastern Athletic Conference at Norfolk State. Our MBC Student Athlete of the Week for the Hampton University Pirates is Ira David Dawson, the senior defensive end. Ira David is from College Park, Georgia. Went to Westlake High there, and he's a math major with a 3.28 grade point average. Congratulations, because you do come to school to get an education.
Especially when you go to a school like Hampton University, they keep doctors and scholars all over the place, and he's just in a long line of traditional scholar athletes that Hampton's produced.
With 1:34 to go, second down and about 1 for Norfolk State. Throwing it deep. Incomplete for Gilmore, but in the middle of the field was Darryl Johnson, and I don't know, that was 6 written all over it. He missed him. He just misread that.
Yeah, that's normally what happens. Anytime you see a quarterback and you see 2 defenders around the football and only one of your offensive players, you didn't make the right decision on where to go with the football. And you're exactly right, Charlie. He had Johnson wide open in the middle field. Better matchup there. He should have thrown the football to him.
Well, third down and 1. I would probably venture to say they're going to try to pick up the first down. With 1:28 to go, the clock stopped on the incomplete pass. Now we got movement. See, that's why you got to get those yards when you can, right?
get them when you can, and you know the maturity level there. They're very young on the offense side of the ball. Somebody jumped. He was trying to get Hampton to jump off sides. Made his own team jump off sides.
5-yard penalty.
So instead of third down and 1, now you're facing a 3rd and 6.
3rd and 6 decreases your chances of you getting the first down. Now you got to think, well, if I don't get the first down, do I want to give them the ball back with 1:20 on it, or a minute, or do I want to run the ball here, keep the clock moving, make them go a little bit further and take more time off the clock?
Even if they can get into field goal position, but to get to the first down, they're going to have to get down to about the 32-yard line. There's room on the right side. Throwing it down the field again for Johnson. Incomplete, 4th down. Go for the first down. Why go for the long ball?
And that just comes from lack of experience. He's not used to being in these type of football games. You got to know down the distance and know what'll keep you on the field and what's going to make you make that walk towards the sideline.
Well, they've got to go for it here with under a minute to go. 57 seconds to go. Nicole, what do you have for us?
All right, Charlie, on the defensive side of the ball, their defense has really stepped up. The Pirates last year, 2001, surrendered over 200 yards per game, but they solidified that defensive front. And now, in the last 4 contests, they've limited their mere rushing to 75 yards on the defensive side of the ball. So they stepped up their defensive front. Charlie J., back to you.
On 4th down, big 4th down play, and the quarterback is going to be, let's see, they're going to call an incomplete pass. He was lucky. He did get that ball off. They call it incomplete, so they turn it over on downs with 50 seconds to go. And remember, the speed burners of Hampton University, Jay.
Yeah, I mean, this is one of the things you can't afford to do. We know that the speed that the defensive end Hilton has, you can't outrun Ike Hilton. He's a track guy. He loves running, chasing chickens, pigs, and tigers and all that stuff. He loves running. You're not going to outrun that guy there, so they should have just
chasing tigers too.
You know, I'm a city guy. I don't know what they grow in the country. Simba lives out there in the country somewhere down in Georgia, I heard.
Here's Terrence Patrick turning the corner, and Terrence Patrick picks up the first down for the Hampton Pirates down inside Norfolk State territory.
We've seen that play run at least 6 times today, but it never looks the same. It's always an extra guy in motion here, an extra guy in motion there, left side formation, overload the right side. They're just trying to get schematically to get you to commit something on defense that will give them an opportunity to break a big play off a little 4-yard pass.
Hampton came into the game ranked 4th in the conference in total offense. They were ranked 20th in the nation in 1AA in run offense. And Hales, though, will not get started on this one as he's dropped immediately on the defensive side of the ball by Hampton. Calls a timeout. On the stop was Kevin Talley defensively. So the second timeout called by Hampton. They have 1 remaining with 34 seconds to go.
And I think they want to just talk it over and talk about their strategy right now. Bet you the number one thing the coach is saying is, hey, let's not turn the ball over until we run out of time in the half. Hold on to the football, make a smart decision with the ball. Don't get careless here.
Let's check out our our Office Depot MBC Player of the Week. It goes to Morgan State running back T.J. Stallings. He's a 5'9" senior from Randallstown, Maryland. Ran for 142 yards and a touchdown last week, and also caught a couple of passes of 45 yards. And he finished the day with 187 all-purpose yards as the Bears beat North Carolina A&T 30-13. And I understand they were winning over Howard today at Howard's homecoming up in Washington, D.C., something you don't want to hear.
Well, let's wait till it's official. You play 4 quarters of football, Charlie.
What'd you say? Here's your quarterback, and he smartly runs out of bounds, stops the clock with 27 seconds to go, and to bring up a 3rd down, 3rd and about 4. Make it 3, 3rd and 3. Don't forget to stay with us at halftime. You'll hear the sounds of the game. It's the Norfolk State Marching Legion Band against the Marching Force from Hampton University. Hot Ice and Ebony Fire will be doing their thing also. We get another first down, and this time it's Hales on the carry.
That was a touchdown-saving tackle there made by number 31 for Norfolk State. Wrapping them up around the ankles prevented a touchdown from Hampton because there was nobody back there if Harris would have missed that tackle.
The last time out by Hampton University, 22 seconds to go, but they have a first down, and they're 32 yards away from the end zone. So what kind of strategy? I mean, they've got the speed burners. You know they can probably put it in the air and get there much quicker than they can keeping it on the ground.
Yeah, and I think that's what you do. You take some shots. You go down the sideline a couple times, get you a little bit closer to the end zone, but then you definitely can afford to take 2 to 3 chances at the end zone here with the speed you have, or any one of your wide receivers. But you don't want to throw a ball across the middle of the field and then have to rush up there and get the ball placed and let time run out with you just sitting there so close to the end zone.
Hampton University started the season with a win over James Madison, a big win, 31-28. They forced 6 turnovers in that game. They lost to Southwest Missouri State the next week by 2 points against Howard. They beat Howard 51-2. I know you didn't want me to bring that score up. They also lost to Alcorn 27-23 when they threw the only interception of the year in that game, and it was not this young man, Tim Frazier, who threw it. Was the other quarterback, Kerry Dixon. They beat Dell State and then Bowie last week for homecoming. And here's the bomb into the end zone for Zuriel Smith. Out of the end zone, incomplete. Smith, the intended receiver. Anthony Owens defending downfield.
Owens has had a busy day so far. They've definitely gone after him and attacked Owens, and he's only given up 1 big play, but he stepped up to the challenge so far because he's playing against some real speed burners out there.
Norfolk State started the season with a win over Virginia State, Savannah State, but then they lost their last 3 to Bethune-Cookman 49-7 through a pair of interceptions there. They lost to A&T 36-10 and lost to South Carolina State 35-9. They were actually held to minus 10 yards rushing against South Carolina State. They've got a big game going on today down in Orangeburg. Into the end zone, incomplete. That's almost a Hail Mary. Yeah, with 9 seconds to go.
You know, they're going to take some chances at it. I like the aggressive mentality here by Coach Taylor. saying, hey, let's take some shots into the end zone. If one of my playmakers can come down with it and kind of steal a touchdown here, that'd be great.
You know, I talked to Fred Keiss, the offensive coordinator, his second year here. He's been around the Alabama State, or Alabama A&M, and Tennessee State, and Southern University. And he said one of the things he had to do was tone down a little bit of his wide-open offense he liked to do and tailor it for the personnel that he had here this year. And that's why they've been successful.
Oh, definitely so. And, you know, that's why they've been efficient at quarterback. He's given them a real simplified package. They're not making difficult throws. Learn 3 or 4 plays well, and we'll be okay.
They have an interception, the first interception this year that the quarterback, Tim Frazier, has thrown. And this one is picked off by Davey Smith. And for Davey, that's his first interception of the year with 0.3 of a second to go.
Yeah, they were going to try a little trickery there. They're going to try and complete the curl pattern, then have somebody else come around with a little hook and ladder. Got a little too fancy for their own good there. But in this case, the touchdown really doesn't hurt you. You didn't get the interception doesn't hurt you. You didn't get the touchdown, but yet the chances of you getting that weren't that great. You take this interception. It's bad on your stats, but it doesn't really hurt you at all.
And they're just going to settle to go into the end zone. They don't want to take any chances. They're just going to take a knee, and that's going to end the half. We're at halftime here. We're at Hampton. It's the Battle of the Bay, and it's been everything that we thought it would be. 21-14 is our halftime score. Joe Taylor. His team is ahead by a touchdown at halftime, and he's down on the field with our Nicole Watson.
All right, Charlie, thank you so much. With me now is Coach Taylor. Coach, our color analyst, Jay Walker, said running back by committee. You guys were able to get it done offensively, but your head's got to go after the fullbacks as well.
Well, yeah, we're trying to get our fullbacks more involved. You know, people been keen on our tailbacks because we do get a lot of production out of them, so we're trying to get some more out of our fullbacks as well.
If you had to limit your mistakes and reassess for the second half, what would your reassessment be?
Well, sense of urgency. I don't, you know, I need to turn up our energy level. You know, don't take any credit away from Norfolk State. They're really playing well. But I think we need to see a little bit more energy.
All right, good luck in the second half, Coach. Flight 238 has taken off. Charlie J, back to you.
Yeah, they landed too. And we'll be back with the sounds of the game. The Norfolk State University Marching Legion Band in just a moment. The Battle of the Bands are taking place right now at halftime. Right on the field right now, the Norfolk State University Marching Legion Band. And the young ladies who dance with them, known as Hot Ice. Let's get down to the field now under the direction of Dr. O'Neal Sanford. And listen to the sounds of the game. The Marching Legion Band.
Don't be bashful. You know the lyrics to this jam. as our featured dance troupe uses ballet to lead up halftime spotlight. Take a deep breath. Candy Beans don't want to lose your love. The hot ice. It's DJ Custom holding it down with the Spartan Legion. Let's go. When the last time you heard it like this? That's so powerful. Push the Legion. Push it good. Push it real good. Everything I do is by my... Come on, by myself, by myself, by myself. Let's take it away. Go left, right, left, right, left, left, right, left, right, left, right. Oh, wobble with it. Wobble. Take it over, take it over. Left, left, right, wobble, wobble. Come on. You think you're winning, but you know they ain't. You rock that green and gold. Finally, you make the gun fold. Let's go! Ladies and gentlemen, you have been entertained by the Spartan of Norfolk St University under the direction of Dr. Neil Sanford with the assistance of Adam Sanders, DeFay, and Kim Zachary, Howard, Spellman, and Sutton. Ladies and gentlemen, behold the lead!
The Norfolk State University Marching Legion Band. We're at halftime of the Battle of the Bay. Back with more in just a moment. Down on the field right now, the Hampton University Marching Force as we continue with our sounds of the game. And the director is Barney Smart. And the young ladies who dance with the band are known as Ebony Fire. Let's go down and listen to the Marching Force from Hampton University.
And now, we feature the 2002 edition of Ebony Fire, dancing to some old school, Sheila E. new hit, A Glamorous Life. And now, in concert show, in under the command of the maestro, we feature Mr. Barney E. Smart, director of bands at 2002 Hampton University flagpole, dancing to Mike Jackson's big hit, Butterfly.
University marching force, and let's go down to the sideline. Nicole Watson. Oh.
It's time for the force.
All right, everybody, listen to the sounds of the Hampton University force. Hello again, everyone. I'm Nicole Watson. You know, when it comes to the word hate, it's a very, very strong word, but sometimes they break it out when it comes to these backyard battles. There's North Carolina A&T against North Carolina Central, Southern versus Grambling, and of course, one of the most intense, Hampton University against No State. P. Diddy helps us refine hate.
Punish them boys. Punish them boys. Punish them boys. Make some more camera though. Punish them boys.
This is a very hated school to Hampton University. This is what we're going to do to Norfolk State.
Ew, what is this?
Whatever she says.
This is what we think of Norfolk State. Hampton will crush the Spartan.
crush them so bad.
Holla at a pirate crowd. Holla at a pirate.
We got the whoop Hampton University, NSU, number one, always, boy.
You wanna hate? Hey, your hands, you're gonna beat them down. They think they're better than us.
You think about Hampton Pirates.
I want to have the final say-so in all this, right? This is what I want to do. This right here. Barney East, the director of bands. Rasan Holmes and Elder Bush are the assistant director. The coordinator for Ebony Fires, Neil Barely.
Miller as the staff coordinator. This has been your announcement.
All right, after all that trash talking, this is all that is left from that little showdown prior to the game. But our producer, Kevin J, said that he asked Hampton to participate. They declined. They said they're going to do their talking out on the field, and so far they have. We're at halftime at the Battle of the Bays between Hampton University and Norfolk State. You're watching Black College Sports on MBC.
Norfolk State coach Mo Forte. Donna?
Thanks, Charlie. Coach Forte, talk about the fact that you changed quarterbacks in the first half. Why was that?
Well, we were just trying to get a little jump start. We felt that we needed something else in offense, and that's why we did it, to see what we could get.
You also talked to me before the game started about penalties being your worst enemy right now, and you all had one that cost you a possible touchdown.
That's exactly right, and we've shot ourselves in the foot a couple of times. We did it once today, but that's behind us now. We got to move on.
Okay, Coach, good luck in the second half. Back up to you, Charlie.
All right, thank you very much, Jay and Charlie Neal right here at halftime. And your thoughts on the first half and what will transpire in the second half?
Well, I think obviously Norfolk State has to cut down the number of penalties they have to have any chance of winning in the second half. I also think that Hampton, like Coach Taylor said, going into the half, they've got to pick it up a level right now. Norfolk State has done a good job of matching their intensity level. Hampton's supposed to be the better team. They've got to pick up their intensity.
Let's quickly look at some statistics from the first half, and of course, our highlights from the first half. First of all, here's the first touchdown. Here's Hales with a 4-yard run.
Yeah, good job of taking on the initial tackler, then getting his body momentum to put him into the end zone to will himself for the first touchdown. Then you're going to take a look here. Norfolk State kind of answering back. Big Daryl Johnson did a great job of good stiff arm here, running, trying to get to the end zone, being heads up and alert to pounce on the football once it got to the end zone.
And of course, it was Thompson coming back with the big run. But what set it up was this 39-yard run by Hales.
A little bit of a missed tackle run there. Start off to the left, break it out right, of a 40-yard scamper, get us close to the end zone, making a wide open end zone run for Thompson, getting to the end zone.
And then, of course, the pass play to Mathis, Frazier to Mathis, and then they sealed it with Smith's 30-yard run.
And then you saw Smith here, great job of vision, starting off left, cutting back to the right, knowing where the end zone was, knowing what he's going to need in order to get to the end zone. And then you see right before the half here, the quarterback, the only interception that he's thrown so far this year. He made an interception, didn't cost his team, but it does keep it a 21-14 game at the half. Take a look here at the overall stats there. The turnovers haven't really become a factor in this game, but Hampton committed the first one for the year. They've got double the total offensive yards that Norfolk State has. They're leading 313 to 154. Time of possession is pretty even. Penalties. Norfolk State can't afford to make these penalties. Hampton's getting away with it, and somebody's got to come out and have the dominant running game here in the second half.
All right, let's see what happens as Norfolk State will get the ball to start the second half. 21-14, our score. Comes down on the near side. Norfolk State trying to get something going here with Mike Vann returning it down to the far sideline, and he's finally bumped out of bounds at about the 32-yard line. So there's Vann, number 21. First down and 10, Norfolk State at their own 33. They get the ball to start the second half. Smith trying to go left, fumbles the ball in front of the Norfolk State bench, but I think they're going to retain possession and get bounced out of bounds there.
Looked like he was right on the sideline when he got the initial contact came. He might have taken it easy thinking he was going to go out of bounds without getting hit. But you always have to keep 2 arms wrapped around the football at all times.
Norfolk State 6 first downs in the first half to Hampton's 10. 313 yards to 157. We doubled the output, but the scoreboard doesn't tell it.
And that's what it comes down to at the end of the game.
2nd and 7 after the gain of 3. Gilmore in motion. Here's the handoff to Smith again. Smith stumbles across the 40 to about the 41-yard line.
They've had some success with that cutback run. They're making the Hampton defense, which is so aggressive with the middle linebacker from Hampton University, the ball hawk as we call him. You know that Vernon Woodson's going to find the football. He's chasing it down to the right, and then they're cutting back to the left. These are design cutback runs that they're doing. It's not all on Smith just cutting back. They're doing a good job of cutting back there on the design.
Norfolk State 1 of 8 third down conversions. This is a 3rd and 2 facing them right now. And here's Smith again, has the first down. And is stopped right about the 45, 46-yard line, but picks up the first down. So they're 2 of 9 today in first down conversions.
Yeah, you know, they've managed to get some success. They've gone with the misdirection. They've also gone with a little smash mouth football. When you've got 3rd and short, you can't have you going left, right. You just got to play some smash mouth football, run the ball straight ahead, get your shoulder pads going north and south, not east and west.
William Mitchell, you know, Mo Forte, we talked about the fact that Mitchell has started the game at quarterback instead of Dontrell Leonard, has been known to rotate all 3 quarterbacks this year. And Mitchell is basically the 3rd string quarterback as Terrell Johnson gets the call. You have Dontrell Leonard, who is a redshirt sophomore, who we haven't seen, who played at Warwick High behind Michael Vick. And then his brother, Michael's brother, Mark's backed up Dontrell. And we've seen David Johnson out of Branch High Chesapeake play also this year. Now in the line right now is Willie Mitchell, a junior from Houston, Texas, a junior college transfer. And, you know, Willie Mitchell and Kerry Dixon know each other pretty well. They're from the Houston area. Quarterbacks from different teams, and they both wind up 15 miles apart. 2 different conferences, 2 different schools coming from Houston, Texas. Here's Smith dancing to the outside across midfield into Hampton University territory. It'll bring up a 3rd down. That was a 2nd and 10 play. He gained about 4 on the play. It'll be 3rd and 6.
Kind of a gut check time here. They've had a fantastic halftime show with the battle bands. Both crowds are into it. It may be in 4-down territory. I wouldn't be surprised if they came up a little short if they decide to go for it on 4th down as well, considering they have crossed midfield.
Mitchell wants to go to the air. In trouble. He'll be sacked.
He got confused there. There wasn't that much pressure on him, and he stepped into a sack. He kind of thought, well, somebody's getting close to me, and I'm just going to run out of the pocket. You take a look here. They've got the pocket set up for him in all this room here. What he's going to do is make the mistake and come this way and slide himself into a headache there, thinking that he was going to get trapped in the pocket, wouldn't have a way to get out. He's got to stick with his receiver downfield. He had enough time to deliver the football if he had made a good read.
Cornett averaging 36 yards a punt so far in the game. This one is a end-over-ender that's going to go out of bounds on the far sideline at about the 27-yard line, making the 22-yard line is where they'll mark it. So that's where Hampton University will get the first possession of the second half. 1st down and 10. 11-17 is the time remaining in the 3rd quarter. And Hampton leading at 21-14.
Morgan State 38.
You know, one of the things that I don't know if you noticed this towards the end of the first half was the fact that they continue to drive the ball. This no huddle just wears you down. It wears you down. It keeps wearing on you. Around the 4th quarter, Hampton normally wins in the 4th quarter because they set it up with their no huddle early in the game.
I understand it's 38-20. Morgan leading Howard.
Is that a final?
In the 4th quarter.
Oh, well, it doesn't matter, Charles. It's not a final. Let me know when it's a final.
It doesn't matter. It does matter. You may want it to be a final because it could get worse.
Bringing up 2nd and 10 here. to do my play-by-play skills. Frazier drops back to pass. He's got a man open.
Serial Smith, too far, too big. And again, it was Anthony Owens who was trailing and hoping, like, I hope this pass is overthrown.
Yeah, right now, he thinks he has a bullseye on the back of his neck. What he's doing, he's looking in the backfield there initially, trying to see. And the time he's looking in the backfield, he's getting up his cushion there to Drew Smith. Smith just flies right by him, and that bullseye is getting bigger and bigger on the back of Perkins' jersey right now.
3rd and 10, Hampton. Old screen. Intercepted? Yes, it is. That's the second interception. This is Marcus Gray picking this one up. And this is a young man from Carver High in Winston-Salem, North Carolina, the strong safety. And the second interception today thrown by the quarterback, Tim Frazier.
Yeah, they're trying to set up a little wide receiver screen out here to the left side. They've been doing these screens all day. In man-to-man coverage, that was a good job of the defender, not letting his man break free to know where he was and see the ball coming there. They've tried this play several times with different formations. Now, we've seen Frazier, those first 2 interceptions of the year, he may be getting a little rattled.
The last 2 possessions he threw just before halftime. So Norfolk gets the ball in great field position at the Hampton 19-yard line, 1st down and 10. Mitchell, the quarterback. Smith has the ball, trying to get outside. He will not get away from Woodson. Vernon Woodson has been all over the place.
Yeah, he had no chance there. What Hampton is doing now, they're realizing that Mitchell isn't necessarily going to beat him with their arm. You're going to see him just slide down the line of scrimmage and get through. That's a great job of being a linebacker there. See how big he is, and he made him real small to shoot through a crack and then exploded through to get to the tackler there. They're going to load the box, and they're going to make Norfolk State throw the football in the end zone. They won't just let him run in there.
Another big game going on in the Mid-Eastern Athletic Conference today down in Orangeburg between Bethune-Cookman and South Carolina State, both tied. Hampton for the lead, 14-0 Bethune in the 4th quarter. Here's the quarterback, throws, has it in and out of the hands of Good Luck Owie. Good Luck didn't have any good luck that time.
That looked like bad luck there. Good job by your quarterback of eluding the pressure with guys all in his face. As you take a look here, he's going to sail the run to the left side, come back and do a bootleg over here on the right. The defender's completely in his face. He gets hit, delivers a catchable pass. Nobody within 5 yards of Good Luck for the 1st down, and then some. Those are the ones that you have to catch to help out your quarterback.
That would have been his 4th reception of the year. There he is. He's a 6'4", 245 senior from Miami, Florida. So it brings up a 3rd down and 11 for Norfolk State. Gilmore has the reception. He's at the 11-yard line, and let's see where they mark it. Does he have enough for the 1st, or is he short? Let's watch it once again.
The play action pass here. Look at it. I like the rhythm. The quarterback knew where he was going with the football before he landed. Good job of Gilmore going to get the ball. Looked like he might have been a little bit short on his depth in terms of that. He's got to run that route a little bit deeper. But I like the way he went up and he grabbed the ball out the air. Didn't wait till it got to him.
That's the 2nd time we've seen him take a ball away from the defender of Hampton University. Here's a big 4th down play for the Spartans of Norfolk State. 4th down and 1. No good. And the man was Woodson, who was there to make the stop. Woodson on the stop of Terrell Johnson, and they turned the ball over on down so close to the goal line. Now, do you question whether the coach should have went for a field goal? We'll take a timeout. We'll be back. Their field goal kicker this year, well, he's 3 for 4 in field goals. 7 to go, 21-14, Hampton over Norfolk. Norfolk just failed on 4 downs. If you want to keep tabs on what's happening around black college sports, visit NBC Network's website at www.nbcnetwork.com. You'll see sports schedules, contests, interviews, and much more. That's NBCNetwork.com. Kerry Dixon back in the lineup now for the Hampton Pirates. Remember, he went out in the 1st half. He started the game, had some shoulder problems. Tim Frazier came on, directed a couple of scoring drives, 3 back-to-back, in fact. But the last 2 times he's been in there, he's thrown interceptions. And so I guess Coach Taylor feels we need to make a change again. So Kerry Dixon is back in there. His team leading by a touchdown, 21-14. And on the option play, the quarterback decides he's going to keep it, but he didn't have any running room as he was hit immediately by Carlos Williams.
Great job of getting in the backfield there and delivering the blow there. talking about Dixon coming back in quarterback. Nowadays, every team is starting to realize you need two good quarterbacks. If you take a look at what the New England Patriots did, then you had Kurt Warner before that with the Rams. You're only as good as your backup quarterback can be in many cases. And, they're in there, and it's great when you have the opportunity to make a change.
Dixon trying to get out there, get some running room. Can he get to the first down marker? He does. Across the 25 to about the 27, and he picks up the first down on his running ability.
And these are opportunities that Norfolk State has to capitalize on. You have him sacked in the backfield. He's not supposed to come out of there. You get him back there for the sack, you have to wrap him up. Kevin Talley missed a sack opportunity. If you miss your quarterback and your teammates think you have him, once he escapes, nobody's going to count for him.
Zerio Smith in motion on 1st and 10. Hales on the carry across the 30 to the 31-yard line. Hales moving forward. Finally, John Roberts made the stop defensively. It'll bring up a 2nd down and 6. Smith again in motion. Hales. He looked like it was going to Hales, and now they're going to throw a flag. They may say that's face mask on Anthony Owens. I didn't think it was a face mask. I thought he got him under the neck. He clotheslined him.
He delivered the blows. A quarterback, you got to learn to get down here. He does a great job with the play fake. I thought he's still giving the ball to the running back. And then as he gets outside, you're going to see guy number 50 right here go running off the screen there. He's got a dislocated shoulder, got out of there. Then he got hit on the sideline with unsportsmanlike conduct there.
Face mask.
Against the defense, 15-yard penalty. Dead ball, late hit, out of bounds, 15-yard penalty, both will be counted.
So you have 30 yards and penalties on one play. You had a face mask, and then after the face mask and the whistle blew when the man was out of bounds, here's the face mask.
As you can see, he left his feet, got airborne, and kind of was using him to help cushion his fall a little bit.
Now where's the late hit out of bounds?
I don't know, because he initiated contact clearly inbounds.
I thought somebody else came in and dived on the pile. So how do you get 30 yards in penalties if there was not a second person involved? I don't see that as a late hit out of bounds. That's a face mask, yes, but I don't agree with the second penalty there. I think that was a flag-happy official on that one. Anyway, here's Hales. Not much for him that particular time.
Jamal Nagy, I like that. He just won't quit right now. He's finding himself around the football. He's their defensive leader, stepping up, attacking to the football. Made a great tackle right there behind the line of scrimmage to make it a minimal gain for Hampton.
From Atlantic City High and Brigantine, New Jersey, Mr. Nagy, tied for the team lead in tackles for loss coming in a year ago, had 23. A year ago. Here's Hales trying to go left this time. Nothing happening that time, as again Kevin Talley, who's been playing a pretty good doing a good job at that linebacker spot for Norfolk State, comes up to make the stop. Let's go down to Nicole.
All right, Charlie, thank you so much. Travis Hales is the guy they're going to go to with the ball a lot, but during the offseason, they didn't think they were going to have him very much. He had kind of a freak accident. They were playing catch behind the stadium. The ball went behind a Coke machine and the wall. He reached back to get it, and something moved in the Coke machine, tore a lot of muscles in his right arm. With that, he had 70 stitches. They didn't think he was going to make it back, but he's back 100%, and Coach told me before the game, he said, listen, if that's what's happening, he's rushed for over 100 yards in the last 3 games. Maybe they should do it to the other arm.
Not sure. He's had 75 yards on 19 carries in this one and a touchdown, Nicole. So you see the right arm is bandaged very heavily. Met his brother this morning in the hotel. Came up to me and he said, they thought that he was not going to play for a long time. And, they're very happy with the production that he's. Here's a 35-yard field goal attempt by Tellis Bolden, and he puts it up, and it's good. So Tellis Bolden with the 35-yard field goal attempt, and that stretches the Hampton lead to 24-14. So Bolden, who had missed 5 field goals this year, comes through on that one. We'll be back. Is brought to you in part by Office Depot. What you need to know. 24-14 our score on Telus Bolden's 35-yard field goal. And it's a 10-point advantage for the Hampton Pirates. Final score from Washington, D.C. Howard's homecoming, Jay. Morgan wins it 38-20. They're starting to play well. They've upset a couple of people the last couple of weeks.
They are. They've got a defensive coordinator there that's got some Howard ties. He knew the program, came there, got 2 back-to-back victories. Great job, Morgan State Bears.
You're talking about Greg Butler.
That hurt for me to say that. Ruined, but we still had the best homecoming on the East Coast, and they'll still be partying in Washington, D.C.
Mike Vann on the return. There he is, number 21 for the Spartans of Norfolk State. He brings it back out to the 24-yard line. That's where Norfolk State will go to work. Their third possession here of the second half. I still question the decision by Coach Forte the last time they had the ball not going for the field goal.
Yeah, I mean, I think if he would have known that Hampton would drive the ball right down the field and kick a field goal,
if you knew that I was not going to get the first down, I would have kicked it. I mean, we also, if I'd have known, if we had, hindsight is great, isn't it?
It is.
1 yard gain by Smith.
But not to let him off the hook, this still is a crucial series right here. If they don't score, put some points on the board and answer, and Hampton comes back and answers with a score, this game could get out of hand quick. And as fast as Flight 238 is, that flight can land ahead of time, and airlines normally don't do that.
No, we know that, don't we? It is 2nd and 9. Gilmore comes to the near side. Smith, the lone setback behind the quarterback, Willie Mitchell. Quick drop. Mitchell has it complete. The far sideline. And picking up, and we got a flag, a late flag that comes in after the first down is picked up on Tony Phillips' reception out to the 35-yard line, and it may be against Hampton. It is.
And that's what Norfolk State has to do. They've been given the 5-yard pass all day.
On the defense, 15-yard penalty, first down.
That's only the 5th penalty against Hampton today, but this is a 15-yarder.
You know, what you have to do is if Hampton's going to give you the 5 or 6 yard pass, go ahead and take the little short pass, and then when they come up, then take your deep shot. The quarterback's got to find his rhythm, get the ball to some playmakers. We know that Gilmore and Phillips can make the first guy miss. Get the ball in their hands, get accuracy completing the ball, and then Hampton will do something they don't like to do, which is do some blitzing up the middle.
First year Hampton came into the MEAC was back in 1995, and Joe Taylor took up to a 8-3 record his first year there as they keep the ball at his Norfolk State on the ground. So Joe Taylor has been great. I'm talking to Fred Keiss, who's worked for a lot of head coaches. He says he hopes that Joe Taylor is the last coach he works for.
Yeah, I mean, obviously you get an opportunity to build a program, which he's been able to take advantage of. Coach Taylor has. He's got a president that supports the program fully. You've got great talent to recruit around this local area here, and you're in a conference that you've had tremendous success in. And anytime you have an offensive coordinator, head coach getting along, why would you want to leave?
No question.
I hope I can work with you forever, Charlie. I like working with you. You gonna keep me?
2nd down. I have no problem with that, Jay. And this pass is overthrown. I'm not sure if it was intended for the tight end Owie or for Gilmore downfield. Gilmore was in a little battle with Brian Sawyer, and they continue to talk as they go back up the field. But it's the friendly type of conversation that they were having.
Yeah, that's what they're kind of doing. You know, like we said, in state, they're talking about, hey, I'll see you after the game. You don't want to make your opponent too upset with you because you're probably going to see these guys passing on the toll road or on the highway. 3rd and 7 here. Get the ball to one of your wide receivers on the outside. They've got some playmakers. Let them touch it, and they can take it to the house for you.
But the quarterback has got to make some good decisions. Here comes the blitz. The pass is off. Gilmore has it, and he's out of bounds, and he's at the first down marker. Let's see if he has it. I believe he does. He knew where to go, and they mark it right at the 40-yard stripe, and that should be enough for the first down.
Good job here, the quarterback getting outside the pocket. Seems like Gilmore got his correct depth this time around, knew where the first down marker was, got just outside of it for the first down, drove his feet after the bobble. Brian Sawyer, the man we talked about earlier when they were talking going back up the field, that's the man who was covering on that play. He might have told him, look, I'm coming right back at you, big fella. Now, what can you do about it, right? It is first down and 10 at the 39 of Hampton University. Norfolk with the ball, trailing by 10. Here's Smith turning the corner, but not much running room. He turned and it was temporarily closed up. And the man who's been all over the field defensively for Hampton University is Vernon Woodson, the leading tackler in the conference. He came in to the season ranked as a second-team all-conference player, but the way he's been playing this year, there's no way he's not going to be all-conference. Yeah, first team. I mean, he's a phenomenal football player. He's got statistics that put him up there amongst the best in 1AA, let alone the MEAC conference. He's got that size, 6'2", 225 pounds, senior, but he's got a lot of explosiveness, which you don't see middle linebackers having. Move from the outside linebacker spot to the middle this season. Mitchell on the screen. And he gets it to Mark McKinney out of San Diego, California. Started 7 games a year ago and 3 games this year. He's caught 4 passes. That was his 4th reception. So to bring up a 3rd and long again for the Norfolk State Spartans. They are 3 of 12 in 3rd downs this year. Finally get a final score from, or it's 4th quarter. South Carolina State has scored, and Bethune-Cookman now leading 14-6. Good one down in Orangeburg. Oh, trouble. And he paid the price. The quarterback. He didn't get sacked. But I'll tell you, the track star, Ike Hilton, was coming fast. You know, he says he's a track guy. He's got some football player in him too, Charlie. He's got a knack for getting to the quarterback, and he does some things that just naturally come to a football player. A lot of track guys come out and play football, they're a little stiff. He's got football athleticism. Tim Montgomery, you know, he's a Norfolk State alum, sprint champ, Norfolk State, and he set a new world record this year for the 100 meters with a time of 9.78. That was done in a Grand Prix final in France. So that's a Norfolk State product. But he didn't play football. A little pooch punt. He was supposed to be a pooch punt. That's probably the shortest punt we've had. The shortest so far has been 10 yards today. Now let's see what this one is. Well, we'll tell you when we come back. 2:41 left in the 3rd. After that 7-yard punt, Hampton will get the ball at their own 31. Let's go down to Donna.
Faces over here. They still think that their team can come back. In fact, they made up a song just for Hampton. Go Hampton! Go! Back up to you. They're saying that the fact that last year Hampton lost the game.
28-20. They lost it, Donna. Well, they're very creative back there, aren't they?
Yeah, I agree with the fake HU part, too. But that's just being a little biased.
Oh, yeah. Hales, no running room for him, and Najee was the man there defensively, number 98. Najee on the defensive side, along with Kevin Talley, have done a great job for the Norfolk State Spartans, especially against the run of Hampton University. Here's a play action, and Kerry Dixon is not going to get anywhere again. And there's Kevin Talley in the backfield, one of the defenders in the green and gold.
And what they did, they brought some blitzes. They're trying to get some pressure. They don't want to allow the Hampton quarterback Dixon to just sit in the pocket and have all day to think about things on play action. If you fall for the play action, run all the way through and get to the quarterback.
Leading receiver on this team for the Hampton Pirates, as you look at the sacks, 2 by Norfolk State, Zuriel Smith. He has yet to catch a pass today. He came into the game with 34. And this one batted in the air, and it's intercepted. Norfolk State comes down with it. And they're going to get the third turnover of the ball game. This is Benjamin Hargis, the middle linebacker, mass communications major, is a converted defensive back who comes down with it. So a break for the Spartans of Norfolk State. The third turnover of the day for Hampton. 1:37 remaining in the third. There's a Spartan. 24-14 is our score here. Hampton leading, but Norfolk is threatening. In our NBC trivia question of the week, how many schools were involved in the MEAC's inaugural football season way back in 1971? And can you name the 7 schools? Oh, I gave part of the answer, didn't I? Oh, well, but I didn't give. We still don't know who they are. Boy, I'm sleeping here. First down and 10 for the Norfolk State Spartans. First and 10 at the 21 of Hampton University. Smith falls down and brings it back. Let's see, that his knee touched. They're saying the line judge said his knee touched down. I'm not sure. Let's look at the 3 interceptions. 2 by Tim Frazier. This is just before half.
Just before the half. Wasn't so costly. They were trying a little trick play there with a little hook and ladders. Second one coming out after the half. Man-to-man coverage. You got to know somebody's out there waiting for that pass. You can't float it. And then this one here, as they're coming, trying to be cute, just touch the ball in there. Defensive lineman batted around. Jamal Najee's been around the ball all day for the interception, with the assist on the interception.
Fortunately, like you said, it hasn't hurt them yet. Let's see if this last one was costly. Second down and 11. Pass is complete on the near sideline. And coming up with the reception is Daniel Thompson.
Just a little observation here. Quarterback Willie Mitchell, he's much more comfortable throwing the football outside of the pocket. He's been very efficient whenever he's gotten a little roll, get some momentum behind him, making easier throws to the sideline compared to throwing the ball down the middle of the field.
So it'll be third down. We'll call it 6 after the 5-yard gain. That was in a 2nd and 11 play. Tony Phillips goes far to the left side. Also over there is Darryl Johnson, who's been the big receiver so far today. And he's big in stature also. And the blitz is coming with a vengeance. He steps out of there, throws it incomplete. If you're going to have the presence of mind, Phillips was running all alone in the end zone. But I'll tell you, I don't know how Hampton missed that one. And they don't know either.
You know, every now and then you just get back there as a quarterback, and you got to prove you're an athlete too. All these guys think that quarterbacks aren't.
Well, this was a jailbreak here, wasn't it?
Where was the blocking? You've got 4 Hampton guys right there, and then the whole second wave of them there. That's a great job of being a Houdini and getting out of the way.
From the 24-yard line, this will be a 34-yard field goal attempt by Tacola. His longest this year is 36. He's only missed 1 this year, and that was a 45-yarder against South Carolina State. Whistles blow, so let's say we may have some movement on the defensive side, but that still would put them short of a first down. It just puts the ball a little closer.
Dead
for
ball
Tacola.
foul, offsides on the defense, 5-yard penalty. Repeat the down.
They're going to go for the field goal. I think they're going to stay with the field goal kicking unit. He's hit a 27-yarder against Virginia State, a 29-yarder against Savannah State, hit a 36-yarder against A&T, missed a 45-yarder against South Carolina State. But this one will come from the 24-yard line. So this will be the shortest one that he's attempted this year. Walter Amos is holding. It's up. No good. Off to the left. So the shortest one that he's attempted this year proves out to be disastrous also. So he's missed the last 2 attempts that he's made this year. A 45-yarder against South Carolina State and this 24-yarder here.
I'm a little surprised that he missed one because he got a free attempt the time before that, the play before that, when they called the Hampton defense offside. He missed that one to the left, didn't make any adjustments. I was going to miss this one on the right if I shanked one so bad on the left, to the left on the previous play.
So from their own 20.
We got the hold down. Everything was there. He just didn't come through with his leg.
Hales on the turn, on the run, trying to turn the corner from their own 20-yard line. probably the last play of the third quarter. I could let the clock run out and not run a play, but let's see. Hampton might do that. Might run a play anyhow. This will be the last play of the third quarter. Dixon on the pitch to the right side to Hales. And Hales again with not much running room on that far side as Marcus Gray, who has an interception already today, came up to make the stop. So the third quarter comes to an end here in the Battle of the Bay, and it's a 10-point ball game. The Pirates of Hampton, the only team that has scored here in the second half, and they lead it 24-14.
They were at the Battle of the Bays, where Norfolk State University and Hampton are doing battle here. We want to talk about the talent that comes out of this area, the Tidewater talent, if you will. Players like Lawrence Taylor, who spent some time in New York, Bruce Smith, Ray Jarvis, Terry Kirby, and of course the cousins, Aaron Brooks in New Orleans, and the talented player Michael Vick out of New Orleans. They say, hey, these guys, the Spartans and the Pirates, say, if it's all in the water, give me a sip. They want to get to the big leagues. Jay, you know a little something about that, don't you?
Once upon a time, there was a great quarterback.
And that's just a partial list. That was a push-off by Zuriel Smith, but he got away with it, and a flag finally comes out. I thought that was an offensive pass interference on Zuriel Smith. He pushed off, and that was his first reception of the day.
You know, those big playmakers, they get a little frustrated when they're not making plays today. You know, a day like today, he's been shut out. He hasn't had any catches, and he was desperate to go get this football. As you'll see here, you can't tell he missed it there, but there was a reason why the Norfolk State defender was 4 yards ahead of him. The senior Smith tried to be a little sneaky and get a push-off. Official caught him.
Anthony Owens was the defender, but he did push off to gain an advantage in that situation. So they caught it. Offensive pass interference. I think the official probably wouldn't have thrown the flag had it been incomplete, but since he caught the pass, you've got to be fair.
Yeah, especially considering, how obvious that he made it. That case, he didn't hide anything about it. It was a clear push. Kind of can't let that one go.
He has at least one reception in 27 straight games. He has yet to catch one here today, and so that is why I'm sure he was pushed. He said, I can't let that streak go.
Not to Norfolk in my own backyard.
This is a third down and long. They're going for Mathis on the near sideline, and a flag is thrown. Let's see. We get two flags, and this one is going to go against Norfolk State in this situation, and more than likely it's going to go against Alton Perkins.
Pass interference on the defense, 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
Well, they just kind of throwing the ball up for grabs. They're trying to get the ball to some of their playmakers to deliver the knockout blow. Defensive back, by the time he turned to look for the football, is a little bit too late. In college, you can face guard, but you can't make contact while you're face guard. He lost his whereabouts where he was on the football field.
They contacted not only while face guard before the ball got there. That's more important. 14:34 to time remaining. There's the penalties, all even. It's 7 apiece for a total of 135 yards between the two teams. 1st and 10, Hampton University leading by 10. Hales on the pitch. Not much running room as he tried the short side of the field for Mr. Hales. And he was knocked down by Hargis, the linebacker in the middle, with some help from his friends, number 31.
Hargis did a good job of knocking him out of bounds, but I'm really impressed with this Jamal Nagy. He created confusion in the background there to make the running back have to take an alternate path, and you see just the good, hard football hitting blows delivered on the sideline.
Long pass down the field. Zuriel Smith, he falls down this time. He tripped over the defender Perkins' foot, and he fell down. He's just trying too hard. You know, you can press too hard, especially when you know that there's something at stake here. My consecutive game reception streak is on the line and things of this nature. Sometimes you can just press too hard.
You can, and I think that maybe it's a classic example. You hit it right on the head. But also, again, I mean, this is what gotten him that consecutive streak is by hitting a deep pass. He doesn't catch a lot of short ones.
He drops this one. He was wide open. 3rd down and 8. It would have given him enough for the first down. He had to get to the 37. He was at the 40, and he just dropped that one.
He did, and this is a perfect throw by the quarterback. How do you know it was a perfect throw? Because when you're throwing a curl pattern, you aim for the wide receiver's helmet, and look at this ball come in here and get him right on the helmet right there. Helmet and shoulder pads. Perfect throw. If he loses his streak, he's got nobody to blame but himself.
Especially after that one. So Hampton will punt from their own 27. Bolden gets off a high hanging one. Owens is the deep man from the 25, trying to get around the right side. No blocking over there, and he loses yards back to the 20. Great special teams play by the Hampton Pirates, covering 14:05 remaining. And we have a 24-14 ball game at Hampton. You in part by the Verizon Reads program. 24-14 here in the fourth quarter, and a capacity crowd on hand here for this Battle of the Bay. They say this might be a bigger crowd than they had at homecoming a week ago. The stadium seats 17,000. Armstrong Field here, and they're everywhere. They're standing, they're sitting, they're all over the place. Norfolk with the ball. Pass is complete in the middle to Owe. Remember, Good Luck dropped one earlier today, and he makes a big reception here. Good for 9 yards up to the 30-yard line. It'll be 2nd down and 1. So Good Luck Owe from Miami, transferred into Norfolk State from Canton Junior College. His 4th reception of the year.
That's what you need. Just take the little short pass that they give you, set up 2nd and short. Now you can play a little chess. The defense thinks I'm going to take the deep pass, or they think I'm just going to take the run right now and get the 1st down.
Take what they give you, right?
You have to.
Johnson is in motion. The handoff is to Johnson. The other Johnson, Terrell Johnson, no relation to Darrell. And he picks up the 1st down across the 30 to the 32.
Now that they've got 1 first down underneath their backs, now they can go for another one. 1 first down at a time, move the chains. That's what the quarterback has to learn to do. You just move the chains. You don't get it all one pop. I've never seen a quarterback be benched because he was moving the chains.
Plenty of time left. Remember, they missed a field goal the last time down. They had an opportunity to kick one earlier. That is Norfolk State. They didn't. Went for it on 4th down. Were turned away. Blitz being shown by Hampton University. Smith trying to turn the corner, and he has nowhere to go. Travis Oliver led the charge that time from the defensive secondary. Also in there, guess who? 53, Vernon Woodson.
And I'm a very big fan of William Smith here, but he made a mistake here. He saw the blitz coming before the pre-snap read, and he assumed that the blitz was going to get there. Didn't have any faith in his offensive line. By hesitating to attack the line of scrimmage, he was tackled for a loss when he easily could have got to the line of scrimmage and maybe got some positive yardage.
Update on the score between Bethune and South Carolina State with 4 minutes left in the game. Bethune leading now 21-6. They've increased their lead. Right now, though, 2nd and 13 after a loss of 3. Here's some way out of bounds. I don't know where Mitchell was looking that time.
Well,
I thought it was supposed to be a screen the way he dropped back, and he allowed the rush to come to him, but then the screen really wasn't set up, was it, Jay?
Well, no, it wasn't a screen. What they set up was a 3-level pass. You had somebody running deep. You had somebody running an intermediate route 10 to 15 yards down the field. Then you had a guy quickly set up in the flat for a 5-yard pattern.
But I don't understand the drop by the quarterback.
It was a rollout. It was a rollout. They're trying to attack the right side of the field.
But how deep do you go?
As deep as you got to go to get your pass off.
To the end zone. You don't need to go back that deep.
And that's because they got that track guy over there that's just eliminating how far back.
And they're rolling away from him, aren't they?
You have to.
Yep. This pass sails on the quarterback. He has a man, Gilmore, wide open, and this one just took off on him. So that'll bring up a 4th down punting situation. They lost 3 on that drive that started at their own 20. Now they're going to punt after, well, I should say they got a 1st down, then they lost 3. So they're going to punt it away from their own 32.
And then that's a tough one there because they had 3 passes, and they actually had some wide receivers wide open that he just didn't get the ball to.
Zerio Smith, who hasn't caught a pass, has touched the ball on punt returns today. Perrant passing, and this was close to being blocked. High kick. Zerio Smith trying to get to it, and he's going to wave everybody off, and it's going to die right at about the 43-yard line. So that's where Hampton University will go to work. 11:52 the time remaining, and a 10-point lead over the Spartans of Norfolk State.
Defense over here on the sideline said that they're losing the intensity right now. They said that they've got to pick it up. Also, they said at this stage of the game that they've got to create some more turnovers. They already have 3 for the game so far. Back upstairs.
Turnovers is the name of the game, and the thing is not so much, as Donna said, creating turnovers. You've got to do something with them, and they have not been able to convert on the turnovers that they've had, and that's a problem.
Especially here in the second half, considering they got the ball inside the Hampton 35-yard line twice because of their turnovers and didn't put anything on the board. They had 14 points at halftime. They shouldn't still be stuck on 14. They missed a field goal.
Actually, they had the ball in the second half in Hampton territory 3 times. They went down to the Hampton 38, they went to the Hampton 14, and they went down and missed a field goal. So they've had opportunities. And getting to the outside is Hales. Hales comes up limping a little bit after he's bounced out of bounds on that right leg.
That's the thing about it when you've got a seasoned running back that's been in there, like Thompson coming off the bench, Ryan Thompson. As soon as you cut any type of limp, you don't even have to be hurt. If your backup season even just step wrong, he's going to run in the game.
And Thompson has the ball. And Thompson's still running over people and down to the 20. He picks up a first down. He runs 13 yards on his first carry here in the second half.
Oh, yeah, he's been anxious now. Those backups, they know, hey, I got an opportunity to not only get in the game, but to get a carry, too.
More importantly, let's see how long Hale sits out, because he's 2 yards away from another 100-yard game.
We need to tell Nicole, go down there and tell him that. He may not know that fact.
Thompson. And Thompson picking up a couple of hard-earned yards. Hales is not going to be on the sideline long. Look at it. He's coming back in. There he is. He heard me.
He's still limping a little bit, but hey, whatever it takes for me to get in the game and get this 100 yards, he's still trying to shake it off. Tell him, get out of here, man.
Remember, he only played the last 2 ball games, 102 and 107 respectively. Came into today's game with 209 yards in 2 games. He has the pitch. Needs 2 for 100, and he will not get it.
A swarming Spartan defense coming into the game. We knew that they were undersized, but they were quicker than the Hampton offensive line. You're not going to beat Norfolk State if you're Hampton running sideline to sideline. You can only beat Norfolk if you run straight at them.
3rd and 7. He lost 3 yards on that play, so he's back to 95. And here's the quarterback, Kerry Dixon, on the keeper.
Great time.
3rd down. That brings up a 4th down situation. Tellis Bolden is going to come back in for a field goal. So Joe Taylor not taking any chances now. He's going with the field goal kicking unit. Tellis Bolden, who was a preseason second-team all-conference player, struggled early in the season, 3 of 8 in field goal department. He made them from 19, 20, 22 yards out, missed from 22, 31, 37, and 47, and this one is blocked. So, again, the special teams of Norfolk State playing really good here.
He's trying to step up. He's got to get a little bit more trajectory on that ball. They didn't have a tremendous bull rush to get into the backfield. This guy standing at the line of scrimmage, jumping up in the air, putting their hands up. As you take a look here, you're not going to see a lot of pressure come from the inside. You just got a guy on the line of scrimmage that just jumped up and put his hands up. My man, number 98, Jamal Najee, all over the football, putting that big hand up in the air, and he got a hand on it, and you see what happens. Now you see what we mean by the trajectory's got to be there. That's the kicker's fault there. He's got to get that ball airborne.
Made a 22-yard against Alcorn, missed 3 against them. Made a 19-yard against Dell State, missed a 37-yard against Howard. Not that they needed any more points, right?
Easy, Charlie, easy.
9:40 of time remaining. Norfolk State with the ball. Long pass. Gilmore's the intended receiver. And incomplete. Gilmore tried to make the acrobatic catch. Defending downfield, Brian Sawyer. Number 24 there from Hampton, Virginia, Phoebus High, and ranked number 1 in the Mid-Eastern Athletic Conference in passes defended or broken up. That's another one for him.
And what Hampton does, they don't necessarily put their corners in a position to lose a football game. Every pass you've seen thrown, the cornerback has had some help. Even on that last play, Travis Oliver, the free safety, was there to help out in case Sawyer had gotten beat playing that cover 2. Good communication between the cornerback and the safety.
Another thing that's helped Hampton this year is they brought in George Small as a defensive line coach. He played in the NFL. That's incomplete. Intended for Owe. And he's worked extremely well with Ike Hilton, those defensive linemen. George Small also has had head coaching experience as a former head coach at Kentucky State. So he's been around. He knows what it takes to get the job done.
As you take a look here, he's throwing the ball. You've got 2 guys that are around it. That's talking about the maturation process. You've got to throw the ball where you've got one-on-one matchup to have any chance at continued success. Sure, you'll get lucky from time to time, but on a continual basis, you won't have success.
3rd and 10 from the 7. Norfolk State, big 3rd down play. 3 of 15 in that department today. Intercepted! Hampton University running it back for 6, and a touchdown is Travis Oliver. He is the leader of that defensive corps, especially the secondary.
And that's what a free safety is supposed to do, roam the football field and trust your instincts to take you to the ball. He does a good job of just getting the gimme from the quarterback there. He could have walked it in there. Great job of anticipating where the ball was going. And more importantly, defensive backs don't have the best hands in the world. He made the catch. He made the catch, and then he ran into the end zone. Good job there. A lot of DB's eyes would have gotten huge, and they just would have kept on running without the ball.
And a flag on the point after, which was good. But for Oliver, 16 yards on the return for the touchdown by Oliver. That is his 3rd interception of the year, but the first one he's returned for a touchdown.
Please decline. The try is good.
So Oliver was the only man in the vicinity of that pass. That way you wonder where Mitchell was looking.
Well, we alluded to a little bit earlier. What he did was he's been throwing to where there's been 2-on-1 disadvantages. Hilton causing the pressure, making him throw the ball quicker than he wanted to, and Oliver doing a fantastic job of playing zone defense, just sitting there reading the quarterback side. As you take a look here on the other side here, take a look at Hilton right here on the inside, getting pressure, hitting the quarterback, letting him know he was going to get hit no matter what he did. They've got 2 guys covering 1. We alluded to it the play before earlier. 2-on-1, normally 2-on-1 is going to win.
And that was Phillips, who was the intended receiver. Tony Phillips, he was the closest, let's say, white jersey to it. But I don't think he was the intended receiver. It looked like the Hampton players, it was 2 Hampton players had a better chance at the ball.
Listen, that all starts, we talked about Isaac Hilton at the beginning of the game. Even though he hasn't had a tremendous day getting a lot of sacks today, he's caused pressure. He's let the Norfolk State quarterback know where he's been on every play, and he created the turnover there.
Owens feels it at about the 8-yard line and is bumped out of bounds in front of his own bench. MBC Network is the place for cool jazz, red hot and cool jazz, with the sensational Nancy Wilson. Watch a classic edition of Red Hot and Cool. It comes your way Thursdays at 8 p.m. Eastern right here on NBC, your family's urban network for jazz. Charlie Neal, Jay Walker, Nicole Watson, Donna Hopkins, all here with you in the Battle of the Bay. 1st down and 10 for the Spartans of Norfolk State. They're down 31-14. Mitchell throwing it long. Gilmore is the intended receiver. He can't get there.
Sitting back trying to attack the zone. Gilmore continues to run his route. He might have had a chance, but he took it easy there, thinking that the ball wasn't coming his way.
Bethune-Cookman final beat South Carolina State 21-6 in Orangeburg, and I believe that was South Carolina State's homecoming also down in Orangeburg. So a couple of homecomings upset today, one in Washington, D.C. and one in Orangeburg, South Carolina. But more importantly, Bethune-Cookman stays on top and one of only 2 unbeaten schools in the nation in 1AA ball, Montana being the other.
They've got the senior leadership of a quarterback that wants to win the MEAC. Suber, he's a great quarterback. His legacy wouldn't be complete if he didn't bring home that MEAC title.
Joe Taylor says you need to change that B to a P. It could be Super. Not Suber, but Super, because that's the way he plays. But more importantly for Bethune, they stay on top of the Mid-Eastern Athletic Conference, and if Hampton holds on in this game, there's a 2-way tie. Remember today, 3 teams went in tied for the top spot, South Carolina State, Bethune, and Hampton. Now it goes down to a 2-way spot, and they have to play each other in a couple weeks coming up. That is Hampton against Bethune. They also have to play South Carolina State, so they still have some tough games ahead of them.
Yeah, and I know that Bethune doesn't want that MEAC championship to come down to the last game of the season like it has been year in, year out. The sooner they can clinch it, the better off they've been, because over the past 3 years, Florida A&M has stopped them down there in that Florida Classic.
Well, next week, it's Hampton against South Carolina State. Then they go to FAMU. They play Bethune-Cookman here at Armstrong, A&T at home, and then Morgan in Baltimore.
Quarter where the Hampton Pirates lead the Norfolk State Spartans 31-14, and we're talking about the flavor of the game. This is it, a taste of victory, the championship trophy that they get to take home here for ultimate bragging rights. Also the MVP for offense and defense. Last year the Spartans won this contest 28-20. The Pirates want to take it home. It's all about taking the hardware home. Charlie and Jay, back to you.
That's what it's all about anytime you play in any type of game where there's a trophy involved. You want those bragging rights for the next year. And, of course, Norfolk State was able to brag for a year. Wait a minute. I don't know what's going on there. We got flags everywhere. Quarterback got hit in the head. Almost lost his helmet. There's Mr. Woodson. I don't know if somebody moved or not. Let's see. Darryl Prelo is our referee. It's going to be offsides against the Hampton Pirates.
Dead ball foul, offside.
Take a look what he does there. You know, if you're going to be offside, you might as well hit somebody when you're offside. If you're going to get caught, let them know where you came from. Put a little punishment on them.
Yeah, they did
I just don't like them hitting quarterbacks like that. You know, I'm a little sensitive to that stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
QB should not get hit.
You want to play that position, don't you? 8:19, the time remaining here. It is a 3rd down facing Norfolk State. 3rd down. 3rd and about 3. Plenty of time for Mitchell, and he gets it to Gilmore somehow, and he gets the 1st down. We thought it was intercepted there for a moment, didn't you? Did you see Woodson's hands go up there?
I saw about 6 guys that thought the ball was intercepted, but Gilmore finds a way to always come down with the football. Great touch pass here. The quarterback drops back. As he sees Gilmore coming across the formation, he'll elude the pressure here and just do a little dink pass here. Gets it over the outstretched arms of some Hampton defenders right into the breadbasket there. And Gilmore with a little bit of, that ground hurts when you land on the football.
But the left tackle did a good job on Ike Hilton, keeping him out of the backfield that time. Trying to cut block him and everything else. He's working against Brian Elder, a 6'1", 280 junior from Dublin, California. And watch number 60.
Just look at the pressure there being there. You spend so much time worrying about Hilton, and all of a sudden they come and get you from the backside. Dwayne Little's like, hey, don't forget about me. Good team chemistry on the defensive front for Hampton.
And normally he does come from the backside of the quarterback, and that is, especially if you have a right-handed quarterback. And here's Smith with a little screen pass this time. Elder gets out in front, lays a block, and it's close to a 1st down. Maybe a 1st down for the Norfolk State Spartans, as Smith is finally brought down from behind by Mike West.
This is just a little quick dump off screen. You throw a 2-yard pass and you allow your best runner to run with the football downfield. One thing about Smith, he's not a burner, but he's got great instincts in terms of where to run with the football. You don't see anybody chasing him down from behind or him making too many bad decisions on which direction to go.
I thought it was a 1st down. That was a big loss on the previous play, so it's 3rd and about 8. for Norfolk State. Dwayne Little also helping out with that last stop. Stepping up in the pocket, throwing it out there for no one is the quarterback. And he is hit by Ira David Dawson, and Ira helps Mitchell up after knocking him down.
They're getting there by committee. You got one guy there, you make him miss, and then here comes Dawson to kind of finish you off to make sure you no longer have the football. Quarterback's doing a good job. He's making one guy miss, but there's just no place to throw when you're running for your life back there in the pocket.
So Norfolk's going to punt it away. Zuriel Smith deep.
You got time.
From the 20 goes Zuriel Smith. That's about it for him.
Give Norfolk State some credit, too. They shored up their special teams player in the game. Zuriel Smith was just running through them like Swiss cheese, all those holes in the punt coverage. Now they stepped it up, and he's been pretty ineffective as a punt returner in the second half.
The trivia question we asked in the third quarter, how many schools were involved in the MEAC's inaugural football season back in 1971, and name them. Well, there were 7 schools. And here they are: Delaware State, Howard, Maryland Eastern Shore, Morgan, A&T, South Carolina State, North Carolina Central. Those were the 7 schools. Hampton didn't come into the conference until 1995, Jay, and then Norfolk State joined the conference in 97. And there's your answer again: Howard, Maryland Eastern Shore, Morgan, A&T, North Carolina Central, South Carolina State. Those were the original 7 members when they played football when the conference was formed in 1971, as Terry Dixon goes down hard, and it was Jonathan Jones who came in to make the stop.
Untouched, unblocked, great hit on the quarterback. This is a defensive lineman's dream. You come there, quarterback doesn't see you coming, and then he looks to the left, and all he sees is a big green helmet coming, look like a green light running right through you.
And now we get a completion. Finally, Zuriel Smith gets the first down, gets his first reception of the game, and keeps his consecutive reception game streak alive with 28.
Good job. He's happy right now, breathing a breath of fresh, a sigh of relief right now. He's got his completion now. He's got a little smile on his face, telling everybody, man, I was a little worried about that record.
There he is. From Mechanicsville, Virginia, right up the road outside of Richmond. Zuriel Smith, he's in graduate school. He's a 5th-year senior. He's already graduated. He's getting his master's in speech pathology.
You know, what I like, what I'm really impressed with, is the way that the coaches said, without a doubt, he's our leader as a wide receiver. Not only with the statistics, he's got the most receptions, but he's the leader. He tells the young guys where to go. He's a captain on the football field out there. He's just a coach's dream.
He has 171 career receptions so far this for his career, and that's a school record. They've had some good receivers here over the years. Ryan Thompson on the carry the last time. You know, to talk a little bit more about the Mid-Eastern Athletic Conference, there were 3 schools, as we look at this play once again, that dropped out in 1979. Morgan, North Carolina Central, and Maryland Eastern Shore. Maryland Eastern Shore came back in 81. Morgan came back in 84. And of course, Dennis Thomas is the commissioner. Done a great job for him, athletic director here at Hampton University, who's the new commissioner for the conference. He came on board this year. The first 3 commissioners were part-time: Dr. Leroy Walker, who we know from the track fame, Earl Mason, and Dr. James Young. Then Ken Free, who's now the commissioner of the EIAC, was the first full-time commissioner. He served the conference for 18 years, followed by Charlie Harris, who came on in 1996 and served until this year when Dr. Dennis Thomas took over. And through it all, one constant, and that's Brenda McCoy. She's been the conference glue. She's twice served as interim commissioner and still hanging in there. I've known Brenda for a long time. Back to pass. Zuriel Smith with his 2nd reception of this drive. And close to another first down. They may have it. 3:55 and the clock continuing to run. Hampton University with a 17-point advantage in this, the 40th meeting between these 2 schools, but more importantly, the Battle of the Bay. John Holley, a former SID at Norfolk State, And LeCount Conaway, who was SID at one time here at Hampton University, kind of came together with this idea about the Battle of the Bay, changing the name. Of course, they were going to play every year, but let's add a little something to
spice.
it. Yeah, add a little crabs to it. Some crab legs.
Put a little Old Bay seasoning behind it and make it fun.
What a hit that time. Thompson and Talley was the one who made the stop.
Kevin Talley on the stop.
You talked about the MEAC and how far it's come and it's evolved. This has become a conference that didn't necessarily think football was a king, where this is definitely a football conference, and you see them getting physical on the outside. Zerial saying, hey, I not only can catch the ball, but I can rough you up a little bit too. That's what it's all about. You got the senior trying to school the freshman saying, you're lucky I'm leaving.
Pass again, Zerial Smith on the reception, and he's battling, continuing. Although they quieted him for almost 4 quarters, he's come up with 3 catches on this drive.
Take a look here at the quarterback. Look at him. He's looking off the defense to the left. You see his focus and attention is over here. He's going to come back and throw this ball to the right. That way the free safety can't get a jump on where he's going with the football. Good job of using your head and making the defense think you're going one way and coming back and throwing the other.
Remember, Hale still is stuck at 95 yards. He may not get that one knocked in the air. He may not get the 100-yard mark today. And he was at 98, and then he lost 3 yards the last time he touched the ball, and he hasn't been in there since. So to bring up a 4th down, Tellis Bolden punting situation. With 2:41 to go, and Hampton University in control here. And after the win by Bethune-Cookman today, we'll be in a 2-way tie for the top spot in the Mid-Eastern Athletic Conference. Owens back to receive the punt. He'll let it go, and they hoped it was bounced into the end zone, but it didn't. Instead, Hampton University's Michael James downs it at about the 1-yard line. There's a timeout on the field. 2:31 is the time remaining. Hampton in control. The Spartan still dancing with hope. Not much though.
Hasn't been. It's been one of those days. As you see the deep throw here, a lot of excitement came on this one. It made a very close football game. The hustle by Johnson to get back on the ball, and then he just outwilled Travis there, the safety, Travis Oliver from Hampton, to get that ball to make it a Verizon long distance play of the game.
31-14 our score. More importantly, it's interesting when you look at the statistics. Willie Mitchell has only completed 13 of his 31 passes, but he's thrown them to 8 different receivers. Hampton, meanwhile, has only completed passes to 4 different receivers, 1 back, 3 wideouts. And until recently, that last drive, Zerial Smith hadn't caught a pass. And this one intended for Gilmore is overthrown.
I think what he's been doing, a lot of the passes that Willie Mitchell's made has been to whoever been open at that exact moment before he got sacked. He hasn't had time to sit in the conference and sit back in the pocket and read the coverage, as you see, and that's why he has such a low percentage rate, 13 to 32, 142 yards. It's been a little bit of a helter-skelter offense, and those statistics there for Dixon, a little misleading because he was out for most of the first half and then came back and basically split duty today.
With Tim Frazier. And it's 2:26 the time remaining, 31-14 to score. Forget this is the first of a triple header game right here on NBC today. Here's a long pass downfield again, and this is in and out of the hands of the defensive back. Should have been intercepted by Thweet. Brian Thweet. Brian Thweet.
I wanted to hear you say that.
Chesterfield, Virginia. I asked him, was he a tweet or a threat? He says, I'm a tweet.
Recurring theme over and over again. Willie Mitchell throwing. You've got 2 Hampton defenders back there against 1 Norfolk State receiver.
And this is a 3rd down play for the Spartans of Norfolk State, who are 4 of 18. 3rd down conversions this afternoon. In order to keep the ball, they're going to have to convert this one. He does to the big tight end, Owe. Owe's still running loose into the secondary, tucks the ball in, picks up good yardage out to the 34. So a 31-yard reception by Good Luck Owe gives him a first down.
Hitting the big fella, run across the middle on a simple crossing route, allowing him to get into the game, running the football a little bit. Always got some size on him now. If you get him the ball, he's not easy to bring down. It takes 3 or 4 defenders to get him down.
6'4", 245 is Good Luck. Under 2 minutes to go. Mitchell in trouble. Mitchell goes down. Nathan Ball, the man on the sack.
Right now, these last 2 minutes of this ball game, they mean a lot in the learning curve in terms of Willie Mitchell, in terms of what he's able to see out there, get himself more comfortable with this offense if he is indeed going to be the man going forward in this program. Right there on that last play, he held the ball a little bit too long in the pocket there. His clock's got to tick a little bit faster than that. No, you've got 1,001, 1,002, 1,003. Find somewhere to get the football to or run it.
Norfolk, to their credit, has only turned the ball over one time today, but it was a costly interception. Running to the right, has it complete on the far side. And that was Thompson, Dan Thompson on the reception. Let's look at our Office Depot players of the game for Norfolk State. Jamal Najee, 7 tackles, 3 for loss. He had a sack. For Hampton University, Travis Hales, just 5 yards shy of his 3rd straight 100-yard game, but he managed 26 for 95 and a touchdown out of the 138 rushing yards that Hampton had. He had 95 of them. So congratulations to our Office Depot players of the game. Looking downfield and incomplete. This one goes. Looking for Phillips, Tony Phillips. This is bringing up a 4th and 14 with 17 seconds to go.
Joe Taylor there looking content, knowing that his Pirates were able to turn it up when they needed to in the second half. They picked up the intensity level a little bit in the second half, but he's a true coach. Like all coaches, he thinks he's got things he can improve upon. Same with Coach Forte over there on the Norfolk State sideline. His team definitely had some chances in this ball game. It's a learning experience, but I'm sure he's getting tired of teaching these kids. He wants to see some results.
With 17 seconds to go, they'll punt it away. Good punt. Jeriel Smith is going to field it at the 27. Jeriel Smith looking to get away, and the clock runs down to 2.3 seconds. So one play is left between these two squads.
You know, what you see there is a great effort by Hampton, really getting geeked up and ready for that matchup they've got with with Bethune-Cookman. That's going to be a showdown with some tougher games to come down the road. They've got to play better in the second half, a little bit better than they did today.
So we'll say congratulations to the Hampton Pirates, who continue to stay at least in a tie for first place with Bethune. They have a big game coming up next week against South Carolina State. Norfolk State next week is at home against Florida A&M, so neither team gets a break.
It only picks up, and week in and week out in the MEAC conference, you got to bring your A game, because it doesn't take much for you to get a loss.
Hales picks up his, maybe have gotten his 100 yards with that run. That's going to end the game. I believe that was about a 5-yard run for Hales. They spotted it, I believe, at about the 34-yard line. So let me say, congratulations. Hampton wins it 31-14. Coming up next, second game of our triple-header. Tuskegee takes on Morehouse, followed by Alabama A&M and Mississippi Valley from Huntsville. This has been an NBC Sports presentation. For Jay, Nicole, and Donna, Charlie Neal saying so long from Hampton.
marching maroon and white under the direction of Dr. Arthur Wesley of Alabama A&M.